Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
So there are many ways in which I annoy people. I've learned that about myself over the years. And to some extent, I think to myself, well, I just have to be myself. And if that annoys some people, well, that's life. I mean, I get annoyed by some people, actually most people, but I don't think I annoy everybody, but I've accepted that I have some pretty annoying habits. Or maybe things that when I first do them, they're not annoying, they're fun, but then I persist with them or I live in moments maybe longer than some people would prefer that I live in them, and then that becomes annoying to people. So this morning I was sitting in we haven't even named all the rooms yet here in our new office. What are we calling the room we all work in? The workroom? Like we have the technical desk now. I've renamed that.
I think some people were saying the bullpen.
Well, I thought the bullpen was where we all sit in on the couches in front of the TV where the video game machines.
No, that's the chill zone.
That's the chill zone. Okay, so in the bullpen, kind of our work area for the time being, until maybe some of us start using the boardroom. We have a plethora of space here. Is that proper use of the word plethora?
Yes.
We have a nice amount of space as opposed to a number of space. So we could count the number of chairs we hear, but we have an amount of space to use.
A large or excessive amount of something.
Okay. Could have been a word of the day. It just ruined it, Jay.
Well,
So one thing that I like, and I wouldn't say I love trivia. I love trying to remember minute details. I love remembering sometimes random and unimportant facts. Well, maybe that's the definition. What is the exact definition of trivia? Do you have it? How did we know the definition of anything, by the way, before we had the internet? I mean, yes, but you'd have a dictionary. So an office like this would have one dictionary, so you couldn't be running to get the dictionary. We'd have to keep it here, I guess. What's the exact definition of trivia?
details, considerations, or pieces of information of little importance or value.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Though in Trivial Pursuit, there would have been some questions that's like, well, you should know that. You should know who did something historically, but there would have been a lot of trivia there for sure. I remember one side note here, if you don't mind me going on a side note here. I remember I was probably in grade 4 maybe, and there was a Trivial Pursuit tournament at Evansview School. And I was with, I think we had 3 people on the team. So the grade 6s, the big kids, drafted people. And I was kind of buddies with one of the guys in grade 6, and he drafted me out of grade 4. Like that was quite huge, quite scandalous at the time. And then we had another person on our team, and we made the final of the Trivial Pursuit tournament. And we had a question to win the tournament, and the grade 6 student on the other team pulled the question out of the box, and he was like, come on. And we were like, what? You know what our question to win the Trivial Pursuit tournament in Evansview School was? How many degrees in a right angle? We totally lucked out. Okay. It was in science and nature. So after we said 180... Yes, I know it's 90, everybody. We won the tournament and celebrated. Probably got some cream soda and root beer. So anyway, I like trivia. Does everybody like trivia? Probably not. Does everybody like trivia to the extent that I do? Probably not. And for somebody like me who didn't grow up with the internet and with cell phones, it's quite fun to be sitting having a pint with a buddy or sitting with some colleagues. And instead of saying, in what year did A Clockwork Orange come out? And somebody thinks it's 1973 and somebody thinks it's 1968. By the way, I think it's actually 1971. Not sure. Of course, Malcolm McDowell starred in that, directed by Stanley Kubrick. But you can just look it up, so you don't have to go back and forth with anybody. But it's fun sometimes. And I used to hang out with a guy we'd go for a pint every now and then, and sure enough, one of us would bring up like, okay, top 5 PGA golf earners in the 1970s. Okay, Nicholas Watts, like who else, and how much did they make? And one guy's looking it up, and the other guy's trying to guess. So this morning, do you know that gentleman from the Nielsen show, Lieutenant Eric? Don't always see him. He works early in the day. We work in the afternoon. But he was hanging out in the bullpen this morning, and I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. So some people in the office, because apparently other people aren't good enough to be included in it, the unwashed people can't participate in the drafts, but there's a draft tomorrow of birds, okay? So Eric is quite open, because I've noticed, and I have not been around, obviously, a lot of the people who are 1260. I mean, some of them have been working together a decade or longer, right? So I'm new to some of the culture and traditions, which is fine. But I have noticed with some of this draft stuff, some people are secretive about who they're going to draft, and other people will just talk about it. I would tend to be more secretive because I think all my ideas are the best ideas, so I wouldn't tell anybody. So Lieutenant Eric was going over some of the birds and people and things he was going to draft, right? So in the I don't know if it's fictional birds or birds in titles or something like that. Is that one of the categories?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even allowed to see the categories because I'm not in the draft. He suggested One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I was like, oh, that's a great suggestion. So of course I have to go onto the and I was saying Birdman would be another thing. And I said, I believe both Birdman and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest won Best Picture. So I said to Eric, those would be great things to pick, especially Cuckoo's Nest, because somebody might say, oh, come on, Eric, the movie's over 50 years old. And he can be like, it actually won Best Picture. Like he wouldn't be picking an obscure film. So I looked up One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it's one of 3 movies at the Academy Awards to win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, and Best Actress. Only 3 films. It's only happened thrice, Jay.
Thrice.
3 movies have reached the height of the movie mountaintop. So now I'm right into this, right? Because I knew there wasn't very many movies that had done this. So another one was in the 1930s. It happened one night. And then the other one, I was like, okay, I got a quiz. I got to find out if Eric knows what it is. Because now right away, because I try not to throw trivia questions at people just to set them up to fail.
Right.
But if I think it's something they know, I'll throw it at them and then try to kind of give them hints to get it out of them. Right. I mean, or I might say, who was the villain in the first Spider-Man comic, Jay? First Amazing Spider-Man. Who was the villain?
Green Goblin.
He was the Chameleon. Green Goblin's a great guess. You probably would never get to Chameleon even if I gave you 400 guesses.
No.
Right. So in that case, I would just ask you, see if you might know it. But I figured that maybe Eric might know this, right? So I said, okay, the other one, and he was interested at first, but I think he got tired as it went on. But this is how I roll. So I said, the other one is a movie, Eric, that came out in your lifetime. That's how I narrowed it down, first of all. It's a movie that came out in your lifetime. And I'm pretty sure you've seen it. And Ben Lagunas was sitting in the table with us. Were you there at the time?
Yep.
Jay, just between you and me, I don't want Ben to hear this. Sometimes I'm fuzzy with the names of the younger kids here. Like they just sort of all blend together to me. But anyway. So I say, I bet you even Ben has seen it, or if he hasn't seen it, he knows about one of the characters in this film. And Eric's like, hey, what are you talking about? And I said, this would be one of the most iconic movie characters, or certainly villains of all time. Of all time. Did you know who it is?
Godfather.
No. Didn't win all of them.
Okay.
All those awards. Came out in our lifetime.
Came out in our lifetime.
Yes, even in your lifetime.
The biggest, baddest villain of all time?
One of them. He would be iconic in terms of somebody that I think even if you hadn't seen this film, you would have heard about this character and know some of the lines and imagery associated with him or characteristics of this villain.
So it's a person.
Yes. Ben started guessing like Bond villains and stuff like that. It's not a superhero. You can't. So then I start giving Eric more hints. Specifically, it came out in the early 90s. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a female detective in it.
Oh, the butterflies.
You're close. You're thinking of the movie poster, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Who's the villain and what's the movie?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs won Best Picture. Best Actor, Hopkins. Best Actress, Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Best, I can't remember who wrote the screenplay, and Best Director, Jonathan Demme. So silence. So there's the trivia question everybody can take home at dinner tonight. You can just be casually, these fava beans are quite delicious. If I only had a nice Chianti
what's the
to wash them
actual
down.
question? Oh, yeah.
Name the. Well, you could ask people to name all three movies. Name all three movies to have won.
Best actor, best act. Well, it would have been called best actress, best actor, right?
Yeah, they still call them that.
Okay, and then best director,
picture, best director, and best screenplay. I think in that case it's adapted, but
is that like the top 5 awards?
Those are pretty prestigious awards, my friend.
So that's like the triple crown of.
Yeah, I suppose. Like so the all 5. This is from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest Wikipedia page. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest received critical acclaim and is considered by critics and audiences to be one of the greatest films ever made. So I read that to Eric first of all because I said to Eric, you might draft One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and you might have some people saying, "Come on, Eric, that's an old movie. I haven't seen it. Nobody has seen it." I don't know why I keep doing air quotes for this, but that doesn't count. That's a lame pick. And I say to Eric, all you got to do is go to the Wikipedia page and read it's one of the greatest films ever made. And then, yes, the next sentence, it is the second of 3 films to win all 5 major Academy Awards, Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Director, and Screenplay, following It Happened One Night from 1934 and preceding 1991's The Silence of the Lambs, which is basically a horror film, at the very least a psychological suspense film.
Thriller, yeah.
It's creepy. And it won all those major Academy Awards. Now, I think as this wore on, Eric perhaps was a little agitated at my insistence that I would not tell him the answer until I somehow led him to the guess. What finally gave it away? Was it when I mentioned Jodie Foster?
No, it was... no, I think you'd name the male actor.
Because if you say Anthony Hopkins, that gives it away.
Yeah, that gives it away.
You had to say Anthony Hopkins.
As great a career as he has had, is that not his most iconic role?
I think so.
Right.
That's very iconic. I mean, even the butterfly is iconic and synonymous with that.
Or the moths in the mouth. Something moths, and the lambs were screaming or something like that. Buffalo Bill was the serial killer they're trying to catch and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I took Eric on this trivial journey that I'm not sure he appreciated or not. Certainly some of the audience has gone on. Several people, by several I mean maybe 3, posting Hannibal Lecter in the nasty chat. Silence of the Lambs. Deadhead Moths is what Double A says it was. So there we go. People are reflecting on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as well. Danny DeVito, I guess, had an early career role in that. Yeah. How did he say it? Lars Y posting, "Hello, Clarice." He kind of talked like John, like Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
He didn't at all. I just have one voice for everything. Hans Gruber Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber as Hannibal Lecter.
What was the next one? Was it Hannibal?
Where is McLean? Yes.
Where
they made
Rome
Hannibal's the direct sequel to it. So Manhunter was a movie in the early 80s that had Hannibal Lecter in it. Then they also made Red Dragon, which I think is the same story as Manhunter. Hannibal was the direct sequel to Silence of the Lambs. And I believe the story there, the author of the book, I think it was Thomas Harris, was always... The movie studios wanted him to write a sequel to Silence of the Lambs. And I think he's maybe a bit of I don't know if he doesn't like to be told what to do or is, off on his own a little bit. And he didn't want to do it. even as much money as he was being offered. So he finally wrote Hannibal, and his goal was to make it so gory as for it to be unfilmable.
Yeah.
And there is quite some gory and bizarre stuff in that, and a weird plot for a former victim of Hannibal who survived to get back at him, like just weird stuff. And they got Ridley Scott, the Alien director,
I like
Gladiator,
Hannibal
to direct.
better than Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You'd probably be in the minority, but that's fine.
I don't know why I felt the storyline of, I guess, of Silence of the Lambs was probably better, but I don't know. I just like the setting. I like the, I guess you were Anthony Hopkins' character, Dr. Lecter. You were able to meet him more in Hannibal. I felt
Probably, yeah. Because he's escaped, right? And on the prowl.
and
isn't
he's
he?
like a doctor. He's was he at a university or something? A professor?
And did he change his identity? I guess he would have had to change his identity. So anyway, that's my story of taking everybody on a trivial journey. Thanks for checking out the show, everybody. Talk to you until 6 p.m. Yeah, we're going to keep going. He is Jason Milne, the glue guy here at Edmonton Sports Talk. I am Reid Wilkins. So I don't know if you noticed, somebody complained last week that I don't call you the glue guy enough. So now I'm trying to overdo it to make up for everything.
Okay. You don't have to.
Well, didn't somebody complain? They're like, why doesn't Reid ever call Jay the glue guy? And I was like, well, I do.
Yeah, I think, as colleagues on this show, it's okay to call me by my first name.
Yeah, I agree. And I wasn't at EST when you sort of got that moniker.
True.
So to me, you're Jay.
That's right.
Yeah. Ben Thompson is here as well. Ben, what's going on, little buddy?
I'm good. I'm good, Reid. Just working behind the technical desk.
Yes, you certainly are.
Yes.
I'll start off my little guy.
I just want to say,
I've never called that before.
I just want to say, I don't know if you, the viewer, or those listening, have picked up on it quite yet. But I sense that our dearest Reid is in a bit of a little bit of a mood, maybe not a mood, but a rhythm.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to stay tuned.
He's in flow state.
He looks like he is in Zen. Is that the right? Is that the right way to say it? He is at peace with what he's about to say for the next 2 hours and 42 minutes.
Well, there are things to talk about, and we're going to talk about them. Jed Roberts is going to join us in studio
Right here.
First time he's going to be in this new office. He joined us at Boston Pizza, I guess a little over 2 weeks ago when we were doing the show from BP Westgate while the move was happening.
That's right.
And we got some cool stuff going on with the Edmonton Huskies this weekend. So you booked their quarterback to come on the show.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I have, I think, an Oilers topic that will get people discussing things. Well, I'll leave that for later on. We have a sort of a topic that I think Ben is going to be great at helping us out with, as he was yesterday when we had him chatting with us for a segment. We also have the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. So the off-topic topic, just to quickly introduce it here. So what, do you want help with the bird draft? Do you want suggestions for your draft? But the other guys in the pool are going to hear it.
So what?
Okay, so what do you want from people? Birds, bird names, bird movies?
I want top flightless birds.
Penguin.
I think so. I think that's 1-1. And I want bird movies, top bird movies.
So does it have to be about birds? Have birds in them?
I think it can have birds in the title.
Isn't there a movie called March of the Penguins?
Yes, it's a documentary, I think.
Is that the one that Freeman narrated?
Probably. That was terrible.
Well, we knew what you were going for. At least I did.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try it. That was
to do a Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, can you?
Well, I don't know. So the Emperor Penguin. All my voices sound the same. It's the book. It's like part bookbinder, part Patrick Stewart.
And so no, I'm trying to.
I could do Lieutenant Worf. Captain, there are wad-like penguins on the monitor. Open phasers. Belay that order, Mr. Worf.
I can't.
Data. What species of penguin are they? They appear to be an emperor penguin. Captain. Usually found at Antarctica.
I never saw a penguin with a cape.
That's right. Well, I didn't test my board, by the way. All right, so Jay wants
Bird sports teams, fictional birds, anything bird related. You start sending them in. I think the biggest, I guess, category would be fictional birds. You know, the Daffy Ducks, the Donald Ducks of the world, the big birds. You know,
yeah, those will all be. I have one, but people seem to shoot it down whenever I say it.
What is it?
Well, I don't know if well, maybe I'll say it later if I feel like it. I don't know.
I
don't know if I feel like saying it now.
Well, don't be huffy
everybody
puffy.
shoots it down all the time.
I haven't even heard it. So how can I shoot it down?
I did say it earlier, and you're just like,
No, I didn't. What? I bet you I wrote it down. What was it?
The vulture from the Spider-Man villain. Yeah, see? Iconic.
I don't even know what that is.
He's a guy who flies around. Adrian Toombs is his real name. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for doing so. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. Give us a thumbs up. Click that like button.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Maybe you're taking us in on an audio streaming application such as iHeartRadio or TuneIn Radio. We thank you for doing that. Subscribe to the podcast for the Reid Wilkins Show and all the great shows on Edmonton Sports Talk, wherever you get your podcasts. You can email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. And, of course, you can text the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant. $18.99 prime rib special, available 7 days a week from 11:30 in the morning until 11 at night. Available for dine-in and takeout, though remember, not available on show nights. A great deal nonetheless. So, and we'll have more discussion on the Elks later on. Quickly, though, the Alouettes, they are missing several very important players, including friend of the show, Justin Lawrence,
Yes.
who wouldn't give an injury update yesterday when we asked him about it, but he did not practice today.
And is listed as out.
He's out for the game.
Yeah.
All right. And MBT's the quarterback. And aren't they missing two of their best receivers, or maybe the two best receivers on the team?
Yeah, Austin Mack. And, well, Philpott didn't practice today,
Okay.
but he hasn't practiced day 1, day 2 with a hamstring injury. So we'll see. Might be a game time decision, but not healthy. That's for sure.
And they're missing their safety as well.
Yes.
Okay. So a few key guys out, or perhaps likely out, for the Montreal Alouettes. We're going to get fired up for Gemco, a show that is truly for the birds.
Hey.
Here's Ben.
The Blue Jays look to finish the sweep this afternoon against the Rockies after taking the first 2 games of the series. Toronto remains on top of the American League with the Red Sox 3 games back. Gosman starts for the Jays, Freeland for the Rockies. That game currently sits at the end of the 7th inning with the Blue Jays leading the Rockies 10-1. The Edmonton Riverhawks play their final regular season game tonight against the Victoria Harbor Cats. The series is tied at 1 apiece. First pitch is at 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who joined the Reid Wilkins Show yesterday, has been ruled out for Friday night's game against the Elks. At Patriots practice, head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pileup during a heated drill and came out with a bloody cheek, a move that earned praise for rookie QB Drake May for setting the tone. And on the hardwood, the Edmonton Stingers visit the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. You can catch it live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch servers and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bee Feeds at 200 Portridge Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. More of Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne on the Reid Wilkins Show after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
the oil stream.
Who are the top 5 Oilers captains in franchise history?
Moose number 1.
Moose ahead of Gretz?
Yes.
Okay, who's number 2? Wayne?
It's got to be Wayne.
Where do you go from here?
Well, let's go through Bucky,
Yes, Shane Corson.
Shane Corson, Doug
Leif
Wade.
Hoagland. Where does McDavid stack up in all of this?
I think he's pretty high up on the list.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Wednesday today, right? Wednesday, August 6th. So the Nasty Bash is in 2 days. So we're going to be doing the show from the St. Albert Rugby Club. Inside or outside?
Hopefully outside.
I will not have to wear the Smash outfit. I hope not.
Might want to check your contract.
That was a condition of me being there last year. A little bit different this year.
Yeah.
It'll be a little less clandestine for me. Remember I had to change in the parking lot?
So it's you, me, Sickler, my wife, and your parents all changing you into Smash outside of the St. Albert Rugby
I don't
Club.
remember Sickler being there.
He was there.
What?
Yeah, he came with us.
No, he wasn't. I didn't meet him till the golf tournament this year.
No, you met him there.
I thought I was outside with Matt changing and you by the trunk. I don't remember Sickler at all. Then again, it was a bit of a blur.
Yeah, well, you probably couldn't see properly.
Well, that's true. That costume was very hot. I will not be wearing it again. It is time to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Sickler was at the Nasty Bash?
He was.
Was Tuckwood?
No.
Were any of your siblings?
No.
Okay. I don't remember Sickler being there.
That's fine.
I feel awful.
No, I don't
think he's offended now?
Probably.
He's sadly writing a note.
He's adding you to his list.
Adding you to my list. Jed Roberts coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon. He's going to join us in studio. We'll have more on the Elks game going into... Well, you know what I want to ask? Because what was the thing, Benny? There was a fight at a scrimmage between the Patriots and the Commanders.
Yes.
And Vrabel Mike Vrabel, he's the coach of the Pats now.
Yep.
He got cut trying to break it up.
Yeah, let me.
We'll have to ask Ben about fights amongst teammates and guys like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had a couple tussles back in the day.
And you were saying some coaches like it.
Some coaches aren't against it, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe they don't love it, but they're not the first one to
If
break
there's
it
a
up.
little bit of a,
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of it. I mean, they're your teammates.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Jed about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you noticed this, Jay. I took a little bit of a break from work today.
You did?
More than usual.
A hiatus.
And the website was not cooperating. I was quite nervous, but a lot of people must have been logging on at the same time. Fringe tickets went on sale at noon.
Is that what they... Okay,
That's what I was doing.
So do you think some of the shows that you got tickets for are already sold out?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not, but I think tickets will go quickly to at least one of the shows I bought for, which I'll talk about in a second. So the tickets went on sale at 10 this morning. If you could go to the box office for online, they were at noon. Last week, I met up with one of my friends who likes going to the Fringe, and we planned out a triple header on one day and a double header on another day.
Wow.
So I made sure I got those tickets. So I have tickets to 5 shows, all of which I will be going to with the same friend on 2 different days.
Are they general admission?
Tickets, yes. Oh, yeah, there's no assigned seating. Some shows will have lower ticket prices for students and seniors, or some of them, but some of them don't.
So you still, when you're doing the triple header, are you leaving yourself time in between?
Oh, yeah. We planned walking.
So you can be in line.
Yeah, and actually, the triple header, we go the main site to the Garneau and then to Sugar Swing Ballroom, which is closer to 99th. I think it's like 100th Street and 80th Ave or something like that.
A little bit of a walk.
Well, yeah, so we'll have to make sure we hike it, but it should be good. But at the Garneau, we're going to see Colin Mockery, who we also saw last year.
Nice.
Colin Mockery, scheduled to be on this show at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Wow.
Canadian comedy legend. It's going to be on the Reid Wilkins show with Jason Milne. I think that's pretty cool.
Now, how'd you do that?
I know somebody who knows Colin.
Really?
Yes. So you may have heard me mention this improv show named Scratch.
Yeah.
I know just through having interviewed them a couple of times. His name's Kevin Galeese, and he's a big Oilers fan. And he called into Overtime Open Line over the years and would text me about the Oilers. He's in Atlanta, but he does Scratch with his friend Arlen, and they made a movie called How to Ruin the Holidays, and Colin Mockery is in the movie. So last year, Colin Mockery was at the Fringe doing improv. So I messaged Kevin and I said, would love to maybe have you or Arlen on the show or Colin Mockery. He's like, I think I can get you Colin. So
it's still an improv show?
Yeah, Colin does improv. Yeah.
Is there audience participation?
Yes. Oh, yeah. They want suggestions and life stories and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good.
So would you ever want to be part of the show?
No. On stage?
Yeah.
No, I've yelled out suggestions at improv
suggestions?
shows. I don't think I did at Mockery, but I've yelled out suggestions. Yeah.
Huh. Those are fun.
Yeah.
So is it a one-man or is he?
No, he has other fringers up there and more experienced improvers doing stuff with him, but he's sort of the center of it. He's the one that talks to the audience and sort of sets the pace and all that kind of stuff.
Comedic, obviously, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So Colin Mockery on the show tomorrow. So I'm fired up just about the Fringe, about that, about the Nasty Bash, just things that are still things in my future to look forward to.
Good for you.
Yeah. Maybe seeing Quinn Phillips tomorrow.
Yeah, well, she'll be here. Big bird draft tomorrow, so that's what I'm fired up about. I got the categories. We've got everything laid out. I've recently found out that Eric, who won the draw, he's going first overall. I'm going to be picking second, and to be determined on Tommy. But I think Tom will take the 4-5 swing. Now, I was prepping for this alongside Eric earlier. And I did get a sense of maybe not frustration from you, Reid, but it wasn't exactly rainbow and candy.
Is this actually you're fired up?
This is.
You're actually excited about the bird draft.
Well, I'm
Like it's actually something you're looking forward to.
I'm fired up about the bird draft. I love the draft, but I'm also fired up that you're fired up. And I don't think that's your real fired up was the Colin Mockery announcement. I think you're fired up about something else.
I'm not.
And you're not even telling me. You're not telling anybody. You just want to wallow in the corner.
I'm not fired up about the bird
give
draft.
Everybody
I don't understand.
Really feel.
Okay, I don't
tell us what you really think.
I don't understand why I don't understand why people are fired up about the draft.
Because they're fun.
Are they really?
Yeah.
All they seem to do is set off arguing and controversy. And then everybody moans and bitches about it for months, and then they have another one, and then they moan and bitch about that one. Okay.
That is fun,
right,
though.
fine. You want to know?
Yeah, let it rip.
All right.
Let's hear it, Reid.
Kevin checking in from Cancun.
Hello. What's the weather?
He says, where is your new studio?
It's in Edmonton.
Yeah, it's like 8 blocks from the old studio. Just keep walking in concentric circles until you find it. Well, okay, so here's the thing. This is part of the culture that maybe was a little foreign to me. I knew the drafts were a thing. Like at 1260, I would see Dustin would post draft results and have you vote on the best team, and I would usually vote, and then I would text him and say which team is yours, and it was usually his that I thought the best draft. So, but this okay. Here's okay. If you really want to know, here's what I look. This is. I'm not saying this is my fired up. Yeah, I'm fired up about the fringe. Something positive, not something obtuse and unusual like the bird draft.
That's rude.
Okay, so first of all,
that's rude. Why
are we drafting bird? No, well, not we, because I can't be a part of it. Apparently, why are birds being drafted? Like, what is the significance of drafting birds on a sports station?
That was, I believe, an Eric and YouTube Trev. I believe they were the original suggestors.
Okay, so let's draft. Okay, so let's draft birds. Let's spend all this time. Okay, here's my thing. First of all, if there's going to be a draft, why is it the same 4 people over and over again? I got to be in the Christmas draft because someone was away or had diarrhea or something.
I was not able.
You were not available.
Yeah. And you did great.
I did do great. And then it's like, okay, thanks, Reid. You'll never be in a draft again. Even though my little Jingles vomiting and or defecating on grandma's bed was one of the greatest draft picks ever made.
I agree.
And I believe that was Quinn's Commissioner Quinn. Do we have to call her Commissioner? Does Quinn even want to be the Commissioner? We don't even know.
Yes, she does.
We don't even know. Does she, or is she just doing it out of a weird sense of obligation because she likes us all here? First of all,
probably both.
We don't even know if she likes it. This could be torture for her to have to do it and deal with all the problems and try to adjudicate and mitigate and be a judiciary committee and you go to trial about every little thing. So first of all, all right. Who ever heard of a bird draft? You got a bird wearing a cape. Can't they fly anyway? So anyway, why birds? I don't know. Nobody knows that question. Why is it the same 4 people over and over again? Nobody knows. Nobody can answer that question. It would seem to me if you're going to have an EST draft, it would involve more than 30 to 40% of the employees of EST. Maybe it would be an actual office-wide draft. Second of all, and look, I hate to say this just to criticize the programming. How interesting is this to people for 2 hours listening to a bird draft on the Hangout? 2 hours of drafting birds. Just you guys sitting there. Sparrow. Goldfinch.
Why are you saying in that voice?
Chickadee. Yellowfinch.
He's pissed off.
So you can't.
I know what the problem is here. I know what is happening.
He just really wants to be a part of the draft.
You want to be a part of the draft.
Okay, but here's the problem though. Well, yeah, why is it 2 hours? This should be.
That's the time of the hangout.
30 minutes max. Get in, do it quick. It's fun. Laugh. Why is it a 2-hour draft with like 15 different categories? Like there aren't enough bird things to draft. Like you're gonna have to draft the vulture from Spider-Man. Probably in the real bird category.
Probably not. Probably not. Here's the thing. There is relegation. Now, I think, and I would propose this because I agree, I think it would be beneficial to the overall draft, the product, to have other ESTers included. Okay? When it started at the old office, there was only Well, Matt was the commissioner, so I was the extra guy that they asked to come on. That's how it was.
And how did that make you feel?
I felt so included. I've never felt so much love in my life. But the relegation was brought on to try and bring on new faces. Now, here's what I will suggest. That if you finish last, get the percentages out of here.
Yeah.
You're out.
No, bottom two should be out.
Bottom two?
Bottom two should be out.
Holy
wow. Actually cycle through our roster. Actually give other people a chance to show, okay, so look, I get that the draft is about humor and creativity. Allow other people to showcase that. Allow other people to try to connect with the audience through their perspective on the world.
Alternatively, you could start a rival draft league.
Well, I could.
You have enough people to.
I have a Renegade Tecmo League. Yeah, you didn't even know about it. See, right. That's how far underground I am, everybody.
You could start.
I'm like a worm.
A rival draft league.
I could do that, but there's more to my life than just borrowing other people's ideas.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I'm just going to start a rival draft league for something that I already think there's too much of.
Well, clearly you want to be a part of the draft. I'm going to have
6-hour drafts, everybody. We're going to do a show from 6 to midnight. That's a draft show. And why is it not a sports related? Now, at least in the
sports, there's sports teams.
Right, at least, okay.
It has to always come back to something sports related.
Well, there has to be something sports.
Because as Dusty always says,
at Christmas,
we are a sports
favorite
station.
bowl game, yeah. Okay, so
I think you're just pissy that you're not in it. And you're trying.
Well, I don't know why other people are. I don't know why other people aren't in it. I don't know why other people aren't in it.
I think that's a valid point.
Like Ben
One
could
of
be
your
in it.
only
Ben, the
valid
intern,
point.
could be in it.
Absolutely.
Ben, the intern, could go back to Nate and he's like, hey, I was in a bird draft. And people would be like, what's that?
So, okay, we would have everybody that's not in the draft on the wheel or in some sort of a randomizer. The bottom two, percentages aside.
Right.
First and second stay in the room. Third and fourth, you're out. You're back to the bottom of the barrel, or you're back to the randomizer.
No, you would take turns then coming up again.
Well, how do you know who's on the top of the first ones to come in?
The people who've been out the longest.
I know, but how do we make it the first time? Age?
Yeah.
So you'd be at the top.
Yeah.
That makes another
Gager would be
thing
Gager would be at the top.
Favors you.
Gager's our oldest employee.
I don't think Gage would want to do it.
Okay, well then it would go to me. I did quite well in the last one. Wasn't I second?
Yep.
Oh, and yet I'm not in the bird draft, which by the way should be half an hour maximum. At least I know that Larry Bird will be drafted. At least that's a positive.
We do have a human bird category.
So Larry Bird. No, does it have to be the name Bird itself, or can it be any bird name?
Well, I myself am going to test the boundaries of this category. I can't divulge it. I know there's too many.
So now it's a secret.
There's too many people.
You and Eric were openly discussing.
And you said, "Oh my gosh, that's a great pick."
Yeah, it is a great pick. Well, why wouldn't it count then? That one, if it's the one I'm thinking of, that would count.
Yeah, I hope it does. But the commission runs a tight ship.
I'll say this: if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. All right, we're going to do Jay's play of the day when we get back.
The Blue Jays go for the sweep today against the Rockies after winning the first 2 games of the series. Toronto leads the American League with over the Red Sox since they are 3 games behind. Gosman gets a start for the Jays. Freeland for Colorado. That game is still currently underway. In the bottom of the 8th, the Jays are leading over the Rockies 12-1. The Edmonton Riverhawks close out their regular season tonight with a rubber match against the Victoria Harbor Cats. The series is tied at 1-1. First pitch is at 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who joined the Reid Wilkins show yesterday, has been ruled out for Friday's game against the Elks. At Patriots camp, head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pile during a drill and walked away with a bloody cheek. Rookie QB Drake May says that kind of intensity sets a tone for the team. And over to the hard court, the Edmonton Stingers are in Saskatchewan to face off against the Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. You can listen live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. More of this heated discussion with Reid and Jay on the Reid Wilkins Show on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Lock Shop.
I wanted to go back to that Bombers game for a second, though, because you'd mentioned it's a good young crowd. It's like a party scene. Everybody's having a great time there. Was it like that 6-7 years ago?
The winning, obviously, I mean, having a consistently great team is a huge part of it. I mean, there's no way you can ignore that. 9 straight sells. This is undoubtedly the golden age of Blue Bomber football. The bar continues to be raised.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss award-winning platinum country artist Jake Owen at the River Cree Resort and Casino, August 15th. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
All right, here we are, everybody. Hope you're having as fun a day as we are. 3:48 in the afternoon, or maybe you're listening on a podcast in the future, which is fine as well. Jenna says, I think Reid may be part bird, the way he's fighting for this. Raider Jesse says, came here to say the bird draft is what I'm looking forward to most this week, other than the Nasty Bash, and that the draft should be 4 hours. Wow, that's insane.
Those that are here for the draft love the draft. That's
no,
truth.
It's become a thing. Well, and that's what I love about these guys. They all got their things. I got my things. We got Name the Animal.
We do.
Are we doing that tomorrow or Friday?
Maybe both.
We
can do one a day and really dive in.
We can see what happens.
Sully says, I'm not going to lie, Reid. I love listening to the drafts. The bickering between everybody is the best part. Uncle Jesse says, is there a tit category?
Yeah, there's a lot of birds that have that word in the title in their moniker. But that's why it works, though, and that's the beauty of it, and that's the fun of it, is that it makes everybody come up with their own ideas, whether you're participating in the draft, which most of it as EST aren't, by the way, or whether you're listening at work or at home or in your car. And then you're like, to you, your idea is always the most brilliant idea, right?
Yes.
Like someone is driving around right now or sitting at work, shirking their responsibilities, and they've thought of like a bird athlete. It's like, oh, I bet you no one's thought of this person. I bet you no one's thought how this name could be perceived as a bird name. So that's pretty funny now.
Bronx the Boilermaker says Edmonton non-sports talk, but he does also say still better than the other station. Okay.
Well, there are a lot of other stations.
I
think we're better than all of them.
Grumpy Cat says I want guest Commissioner Reid for a draft.
Well, see, that would be quite difficult for a lot of people because I think I would have very stern and particular rules, and there would be a lot of overruling and arguing. And
Perfect.
I would get thrown out.
You'd be a great fit.
Now, Quinn is going to pick her own category, which she will announce right before the draft.
There's the commissioner's pick, and it's obviously related to birds, but none of us know it. So she does that at the start of the draft, and we each have to pick one. So it's a surprise.
So Dusty picks all the other categories?
Dusty and Eric, and that's another thing. Tom and I and whoever else is in the draft in future have no say.
Two of the participants get to pick the categories.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody starting to recognize the shadiness of all this? Is it just me coming in from the outside?
Oh, Commissioner Quinn has texted
Sorry.
She has texted me. She says relegation is going up, Jay. Because relegation, I think, was you had to finish at under 10 or 12%, I believe.
Oh, that's a percentage of the vote.
I'd say put that bad boy up to 20. Maybe 18.
Yeah, let's cycle through the roster.
And
here.
if two are under that?
Or three are under that? What if somebody gets 80%?
Yeah.
The three guys who split the 20%, they're all out. They're all out. I'm sure Jasmine would participate in a draft. You know, I think this could really be expanded and bring in some new voices and personalities, Jay.
I'm with you.
So, but again, let's recognize, so two guys who are in the draft pick the categories and don't let other people pick the categories.
Correct.
Right. So it kind of neuters Quinn as the commissioner right off. It's not like, hey, in the NHL, hey, Boston and Utah, you guys write the rule book this year. Everybody else will just go along with it. That doesn't happen. Anyway, 780-218-9999. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by...
There's a lot of bickering going on right now.
Who?
In the draft chat, Reid.
Oh, there's
exclusive.
Yes,
it's
of course.
Exclusive to those in the draft.
I can't be part of that, everybody. Don't worry. I'll just go read quietly under a tree. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Oh, we got to do your thing here. We almost forgot.
Oh, yeah. Having too much fun.
It's Jay, it's Play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
Presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and, of course, sports betting. So can I even ask who's in the draft chat? Is it you, Eric, Dustin, Quinn, and Tom?
And Maddie.
Oh, Matt's still in it.
No, he got re-added. He was out.
He got re-added.
But he was frustrated because he's the host of the draft. So he interviews all the draftees before the draft commences.
Okay.
Big Uke says, I never really took Reid as the jealous type.
Not jealous, I'm logical.
Oh, Reidrick. This is great, hey?
What's your play of the day, my young friend?
Okay. Well, I said I was going to do this yesterday, so I had to keep my word. I went and look, I'm on the Elks right now. And yes, you can say, I told Maddie this, and he said, no, they haven't won yet. How can I bet on them if they haven't won yet?
That's great.
I said, Matt, have some faith. How about that? No. So I went out on a limb, and I took the Elks money line because you look at the injury report that came out, the practice, who was in, who was out. Justin Lawrence is out. Ento's out. Austin Maxins, Decoy's out. Philpott did not practice. They have major holes. And one of the biggest might be at center. I mean, you saw what happened to the Elks run game when David Beard was out for those two games. It just wasn't the same. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, I don't trust that guy. I think this could be a game where the Elks finally get an interception.
It makes you sound like he's going to steal your wallet or something.
Maybe. He could. I just feel like this game couldn't come at a better time of the year for this team who's struggling, who needs a win desperately. So the odds were plus 145 money line. But as you know, the people at Play Alberta are very good people. They went and boosted that to plus 160. So if you want to ride with Jay, if we all want to be celebrate clanging pints at the St. Albert Rugby Club, because there is that effect too. It is on the Nasty Bash. Yep. And that's huge mojo. Huge. So if you want to ride with Jay and we'll all celebrate together, how fun would that be? Doing a post-game show from the Nasty Bash with an Elks win. That would be electric. That would be better than the Bird Draft. Maybe not, but close. So that's Jay's Play of the Day. Head over to playalberta.ca. Click on sports, click on EST specials. You'll see it right there. Elks, money line, boosted, plus 160.
It's Jay, it's Play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
All right, and of course, we are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet, get real, play hard. So here's what I can tell you. As Jay was saying, the Nasty Bash is Friday, so this show and the Green and Gold kickoff shows and post-game shows will all be live from the St. Albert Rugby Club.
Yes, sir. So
Milne and I will go 3 to 4:30. Milne and Awanak will go 4:30 to 5:30. Milne, I come back with Milne to end the Reid Wilkins show 5:30 to 6, and then they hop on after the game. That's going to be pretty cool. Jed Roberts is going to be in studio today. We got Jackson Harnett coming up. Is this his final year with the Huskies?
5th year starting quarterback for the Edmonton Huskies.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's going to be on, and you'll talk about the special thing going on with the Huskies this weekend.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Tomorrow, Colin Mockery at 4 o'clock. I just checked. He's in Vancouver. He will be in Vancouver. I think he's flying there today. I think he was in Ontario. And then he's coming for the Fringe starting. The Fringe starts 1 week tomorrow. I bought some tickets already today. And is tomorrow Calvin McCarty?
Calvin McCarty, former
double legend.
He's
one of my mom's all-time. I always talk about the players my mom hates. Calvin McCarty is one of my mom's all-time favorite players.
Really?
And we went to Fan Day once at Commonwealth, and Calvin kind of knew me through interviewing him. And I kind of said, my mom likes you. And I said, hey, here's my mom. And he just was like, oh, and he just hugged her right away.
Yeah.
I got a picture of Calvin McCarty and my mom hugging.
He's a wonderful man, a wonderful human. He's now coaching with the Edmonton Wildcats.
Right, and they both start this weekend.
That's right.
Right, okay. So that's some of the stuff that's coming up. I have we might be able to extend this buying or selling over 2 days because we do have a lot of stuff planned for the show. We'll do it in the next segment, but it might continue tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on how it goes.
Do you want to just go?
I'll tee it up.
Yeah, okay.
Buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So we got Ben Thompson on the technical desk. He fascinated us yesterday with his tales of
EA Sports
being an influencer, sort of for EA Sports.
Sure, kind of a big deal,
which is pretty cool. So yeah, and then you said it today, and this will be fun for audience participation. So start sending them in. Nasty chat, texting River Cree Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999. Best sports video game of all time. Could we say a series, or do we need to nail it down to a specific? Because I think for me, I might just say a series. Well, my knowledge is limited.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Because I know diehards, people our age are going to say NHL 94.
Yeah.
Right? But then, there's people that'll say Madden this year. So whatever you're comfortable with.
All right. So best sports video game or video game series of all time.
Yeah.
And are we including the skateboarding games?
You have to.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because I think there'll probably be some racing games suggested that I know nothing about.
Right.
Hopefully Ben will help us here. So best sports video game of all time that is buying or selling for Damon Bunting. All right. 4 o'clock break.
The Blue Jays aim to sweep the Rockies this afternoon after winning the first 2 games of the series. Toronto sits at the top of the American League with the Red Sox 3 games back. Gausman takes them out for the Jays, Freeland for Colorado. The score of that game is 20-1 at the top of the 9th inning for the Toronto Blue Jays. The Edmonton Riverhawks play the final game of their season and the regular their series and the regular season tonight against the Victoria Harbor Cats. First pitch is at 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, a recent guest on the Reid Wilkins show, has officially been ruled out for Friday's matchup against the Elks. In the NFL, Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pileup at practice and came out with a bloody cheek, earning praise from quarterback Drake May, who says Vrabel's intensity sets the tone. And the Edmonton Stingers are Saskatchewan tonight to face the Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. Catch all the action live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team full of specialists, and you got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Call 780-460-9977 or visit the website at advantagesportsmed.ca to book an appointment today. More of Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne on the Reid Wilkins Show after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Dave Naylor.
Nobody wants to hear this in Edmonton, but defensively, the Elks the last 2 weeks have put up their best performances. The Cody Fajardo switch, I don't think based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks, anybody has much of an argument about who gives them the best chance to win right now. And that's got to be what it's about for the Elks, because they got to rebuild this fan base. And another season is about to get away from them here.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss award-winning platinum country artist Jake Owen at the River Cree Resort and Casino, August 15th. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Okay, 2 kids, 2 backpacks, lunch bags. Wait, where are the school books? Back to school doesn't have to mean the everyday rush and stress of looking for your kids' items. Have more zen in your mornings. Find space for your family's needs with Sentinel Storage. Go back to school with 4 weeks free. Reserve your space today and find the peace of mind your morning needs. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Jed Roberts will check in about an hour. He's going to join us in person here at our new Edmonton Sports Talk office. He has not been here yet, which will be pretty cool. We're happy to hear from you. You can email jay@edmontonsportstalk.com, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. You can post in the nasty chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you were there as well. We try to get to 100 thumbs every show. We are on pace to do so, but don't delay. Get in there and click right away. And you can text 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Okay, so buying or selling for Damon Bunting, we want to know, and this, I think this is going to carry over to 2 days, Jay. Maybe we'll have to just, or maybe we'll see how it goes today, and then maybe we focus it even more tomorrow. The greatest sports video game of all time, or your favorite, or whatever. So I think the first question, though, I want to ask you guys. Now, I have basically stopped playing video games. Well, that's not true, except for the ones I play here at the office now. At home, on my own time with buddies, I've stopped playing.
Yeah.
There was a time where I would have played semi-regularly. But I guess the question is, what are you looking for, or what makes a good sports video game?
It depends on, like, I mean, a lot of people, I feel like, go back to like their favorite sports game and it's just nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the right time of their life where they really enjoyed it. And there was a time where they had the most amount of time to play. So like, that's, I think, the argument, at least for NHL, for like, that's obviously my specialty, where it's like, a lot of people say NHL 14, but like, it's also just like a perfect time for a lot of people, but also like, it was just a great game. But for a lot of people, it's when they had the most amount of time and they just overly just enjoyed playing. Sometimes that's not the game itself. Me personally, though, like I was a big fan of NHL 21, but that was mainly just because of the time I was in. That's about it.
Because you were what?
Because that was fresh out of COVID. That was my first year playing competitively.
Okay.
And that was the year that was, I don't like saying this, but like it was my breakout year in terms of competitiveness.
Right. That's cool.
Why don't you want to say that?
That's awesome.
You should be proud of that.
Well, I don't know. It's like, I'm not professional or anything.
Who cares? You could run laps around anybody in this office in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool. Don't be shy about it.
Cool. I don't know. It was the first year I did anything in the World Championships. So that was like, that's always nostalgic for me, because it was like, that was the game. It was also, in my opinion, a fantastic competitive game. But
I think for sports games, it's the ability to score.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good point.
That's probably the drive.
That's a really good point. I never thought of that. That's an awesome suggestion.
Because in Street Fighter, you can win a match, but in Blades of Steel, you score a goal. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
score, and it sounds simple, but that's kind of the drive of, and there are some awesome suggestions coming in. But
I like that suggestion. You don't play a video game to play the neutral zone trap.
No.
You try to see, well, McDavid got 130 points in real life. He got 190 in my video game because I did this. I remember, I think it was Ben Simmons. He used to write on, remember ESPN had Page 2 for a while? It was a really good site. And he wrote some piece on his best video game systems of all, or best video game seasons of all time. And he always took the Patriots. And Ben Coates on like a 4-yard in was uncoverable. And he had a season like Ben Coates had like 210 receptions or something like that. And he said he had Adam Oates with the Bruins and got him like over 100 assists. But so that's a really good one, Jay. I never thought of it that way. If you were playing a video game, you're playing for the offense.
Yes,
that's the fun.
That is the fun.
You don't want to play a baseball game. I mean, there might be a learning curve, but once you've sort of learned how to hit, you would expect that you're not going to strike out more than once or twice a game. You don't want to sit there and be like, God, I've put 60 hours into this game, and Randy Johnson's heater is so deceptive, I still can't touch it. Or
you don't play Tecmo Super Bowl to play defense good.
Right.
You play it to run whatever offense you want to run. You don't play NBA Jam to try and block anything. You play so you can hear, he's heating up.
Right. That's a good point. Well, one game I liked for a while, because probably the most I played was when I lived in Lloyd. So like 2000 to 2007.
So what console was this on?
I had a PS2.
PS2. That was a big one.
And one game I really liked was NFL Street.
Oh, yeah.
And why did I like that? Because it was crazy. You could call crazy play. What was it, Ben? Was it 6-on-6 or 5-on-5?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
and you could go for a 2-point convert. No, I think if you ran it in, it was a 1-point convert. But if you passed it in, it was 2 points. And you could, there was laterals and big hits that would cause fumbles. And even if you were on defense, you had a good chance of, because they had little field. They had different fields. Like one division played their home games on a beach, and then one team was like on this concrete basketball court in Manhattan or something like that. So it was gimmicky and it was fun, and there was a lot of scoring. That's a great way to put it.
I remember, so Erico says NFL 09 and California games. I loved California games.
Don't we have that?
We do, but I can't figure it out because there's hacky sack, there's surfing, it's just different sports. But that was fun on the old Nintendo, and quite, one of my favorite games growing up. Well, two would be on the original Nintendo system. Was Excite Bike.
Oh yeah,
like I loved Excite Bike.
Yeah.
Some people call it Excite-A-Bike.
Excite-A-Bike. We always called it Excite-A-Bike for some reason.
I think it's Excite Bike, but I could be
Evansburg,
wrong.
we were just doing whatever.
Well, and Mario Hockey. Do you remember in Mario
there was
Hockey?
a Mario Hockey?
Well, and you could choose your lineup. You could have the really big fat guy.
Oh, that was Mario? I thought it was just Nintendo Hockey. Okay.
Or maybe it was Nintendo Hockey.
There was a...
But it was Mario looking character. It wasn't Mario. You're right,
Nintendo.
Reid. It was just Nintendo Hockey. And you could choose the scrawny guy, the medium-sized guy, and the big guy. And the big guy would knock anybody off the puck. And the scrawny guys were the fastest, but they would be taken out by the big guy.
Right.
That was an exciting game.
So there's... And now for me, it's kind of... speaking of scoring, it was kind of... Was it 20... The Blue Jays got 20 runs today? They put up a video game. But that's one thing we say, right? If a guy has... Sorry, Benny. If a guy has a good offensive stretch... Sometimes we'll say, "Oh, he's putting up video game numbers," right?
Yes.
Because you want.
That's a great point.
I was always torn though, because you make a great point, Jay. You want to score, you want fun, you want action, but for certain games though, I wanted it to still be fairly realistic in terms of, maybe for me mostly with baseball. Like I wanted realistic ball physics. I remember one of the best games I liked the show, MLB The Show. That's one of the few games for maybe 4 or 5 years I bought it every year. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was that game that Kurt Schilling was on the cover of. I think it was the company that went bankrupt. I think he owned it. Was it 989 Sports?
Yes.
And it had very realistic ball physics as well. And I guess in a baseball game, I wanted the pitching fatigue to be realistic. Because I remember, I think it was Triple Play, the EA game I got one year, and you could pitch your ace. He'd be tired the next day, and then he'd be full strength.
Really?
So you could pitch him every second day.
So there'd actually be some common strategies.
I wanted it to be where it's okay. If a guy pitches Monday, he's not going to pitch again until Saturday. Like he'll. Yeah,
I like that.
I like kind of that. And I remember in Triple Play, every hit was either a home run or a line drive off the wall, but it went so low, you could only get a single out of it. And I was like, well, I wish there was a little, but that's what the show got down. The show got down the fun plus the simulation. And plus you could actually manage pitchers and pinch runners and all that kind of stuff and play in the different stadiums. So it was a good baseball simulation while still having a lot of the fun involved.
See, then that would make me want, well, maybe you've tried it, maybe you played it, but I think this was kind of a game changer. And Rob from LA also agrees, although his was for Xbox. Mine would have been for PlayStation. And that was the Tiger Woods PGA Tour.
My dad loved that game.
Yeah.
My dad loved that game.
But here's the thing, is because that actually allowed you to shape the ball. That actually allowed you to throw backspin or top spin.
Like after you already hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you felt like you were like that's what the pros can do.
Right.
But the Tiger Woods golf, I think that was a game changer in terms of how that is viewed, like how you would have had to schedule your pitchers. Well, that was kind of the first, because in prior Mario Golf, well, you just hit it. And as long as you're in the right meter, your ball's going to go somewhere that way. But this was just so detailed. Like down to, and then had the putting greens.
Yeah.
Actually, we play it right now. That's like the only video games I play now is on the Switch, the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay.
My kids have it, but they have a Mario or a Nintendo like golf.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's really good. Yeah, it's actually quite, and you could do top spin, backspin, everything. It's like a children's version of Tiger Woods golf.
Yeah, there's some good golf. I have a couple of the first year they put Augusta in the course in the game. I got that. And there was an older, it might have been like Tiger Woods 01 or 02. You started as a guy who was, 30 out of 100 and you had to level up. And then eventually I was 100 in every category. And I remember they had luck as a category. So if you hit into the rough and it was right along the edge, you would bounce in the rough and then suddenly roll into the fairway. Yeah, right. You always wind up with the best lie.
Well, Golden Tee.
Golden Tee, people are putting in.
That's Golden Tee. I was in a Golden Tee phase in my life.
Yeah.
In my early to mid 20s. My buddy and I would go to Billy Bud's.
Oh, yeah.
And we would play all night.
Huh.
We are getting a lot. I mean, I'd forgotten about some of these games. Sega Outrun, that would be a racing game. NBA Street, Mario Kart, yeah, that'd be a racing game. I don't know, does Sonic count? I don't know if Sonic counts.
Blades
of Steel. A lot of different NHL and Madden years being suggested. Not actually, I'm the only one who's really brought up a baseball game. Maybe I was the only one who thought the show was that good. I thought MLB The Show, and it was a Sony game. For a Sony platform.
Yeah, MLB The Show is very popular nowadays.
It still is? Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised how little Madden we're seeing that's coming in on, from the listeners.
I think the older Madden games.
Well, I was a Tecmo guy.
Yeah,
But Bo Jackson years.
Yeah.
Those were incredible. I mean, nobody could touch Bo Jackson.
So did you guys ever get to were you guys big on the Wii or the Xbox Kinect?
No, I never tried the Xbox Kinect. I did do the Wii because you do the bowling. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And tennis, you could actually hit it.
Tennis, yeah.
Because that was kind of a game changer in its own right.
Right. Yeah. That's been a go-to.
Is the Wii still a thing?
Oh yeah. It's like
and then you'd have a steering wheel in Mario Kart.
Steering wheel in Mario Kart.
That's right.
It's even incorporated in we still have someone bring out a Wii out of nowhere.
Because now on the Switch,
it's nostalgic.
The Switch is you can
the Switch is like a new basically.
It has elements of that.
It does. It doesn't. But you can actually buy the steering wheel for the Switch. But for the
Wii,
Nintendo Wii, you'd get it and you'd put your controller in. I mean, think of that: a Friday night, 4 guys getting around, or 6 guys, and having a Mario tournament.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Incredible.
So this is it's funny. I talked about this on the Hangout, and Matt claims that their generation brought up. So there was, we've now incorporated into drinking games with it.
Oh,
and we play a game called Beerio Kart. And so the game is you play a game of Mario Kart. You're obviously steering and everything, but you have to finish your beer and you can't drink and drive. So you have to stop your cart. There's different strategies to it. You get down your beer, then try to finish a race. You can do sips. You can like all this stuff. It's incorporated now.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, we might, because we have a guest coming up and Jed's coming on. We may have to do part 2 of this tomorrow. Yeah. Because we've gone. Because Jay and I talked about this earlier, and I kind of said, okay, I have a way I want to go with it, which I sort of got to, but not really. And then you went away that I didn't know you were going to go with it, with the offensive, which is obvious, but I never thought of it explicitly. And Ben has an incredible amount of experience with this. So we'll attack the sports video game
week.
We'll get into it from other different angles, though, because I also want to bring up some of the games that it led me to other games I play that aren't video games, but they're still very heavy sports games. I think I told you a little bit about them. All right, so Jackson's next. Jackson Harnett from the Edmonton Huskies. Jed's at 5. We also have we're having a great discussions today. The Oil Understood is going to have a pretty
that's going to be spicy,
fan-centric discussion, so that'll be fun. Here's Ben with an update first.
The Blue Jays crushed the Rockies 20-1 this afternoon to complete the 3-game sweep. Davis Schneider hit 2 out of the park, while Bouchard brought in 4 RBIs. The Edmonton Riverhawks close out both their series and regular season tonight with the one final game against the Victoria Harbor Cats. First pitch is set for 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who appeared on the Reid Wilkins show earlier this week, has been ruled out for Friday's game against the Elks. At Patriots practice, head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pile during up a drill and came out with a bloody cheek, earning praise from quarterback Drake May for bringing intensity and setting the tone. And over to the hard court, the Edmonton Stingers are in Saskatchewan to take on the Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. You can catch the game live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Jackson Harnett joins the show after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
I do have concerns with Dan Campbell. I love his riverboat gambling style of coaching in a way. One of these years it's going to cost him.
Would Dan Campbell have ran the ball with Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl that year?
I don't know, because there's a great article in the Washington Post, though, that says Bill Belichick baited Pete Carroll to do that. It was actually a brilliant coaching move by Bill Belichick that forced Pete Carroll to throw that football.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YEG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YEG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Yeehaw! Yee Country Night is back. Celebrate all things country and western Friday, August 15th at 7 p.m. as your Edmonton Elks take on the Toronto Argos. Presented by Coconut Cowboy Rum. This game will feature the 3rd annual EE Bull Riding Competition. Country music all night long, plus a petting zoo and pony rides for the kids. This night is sure to be a blast, so giddy up and get your tickets now, starting at just $20 at goelks.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Goodbye. You sure are going to miss them, but their room would make a great yoga studio. Store their childhood treasures safely with Sentinel Storage and find some space for you. Try 4 weeks free. sentinelstorage.ca.
Okay, thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting. We were talking about sports video games, good ones, why we like them, why we don't like them. Jay and I have found one on the arcade machine that is not realistic at all.
No.
What's it called?
I don't even know. American Circuit?
American Speedway? Motorway?
American Motorway.
Is that what it is?
Something like that.
So it's a top-down view of various racetracks.
It's hard.
Your car cannot get damaged. And you're just racing against computer. Well, no, you and I did one together.
Yeah, that wasn't as fun as racing against the computer.
It's it is not. It does not fall in the realism category, but it falls in the fun category because you discovered shortcuts.
Oh yeah,
that are mildly helpful or extremely helpful.
They're not. I think they're set up to lure you in, to try and go for it. But then when you miss it, you're screwed.
Yeah, because you have to be exact on the way through.
Just stick to the track, baby.
We got a special guest here coming up in 20 seconds. I remind you, though, if you are taking us in on YouTube today, click that thumbs up button.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right. We are, so Eric and I this Sunday are going to be doing a live 1 hour pregame show from Jasper Place Bowl, where the Edmonton Huskies will be taking on the Regina Thunder in their home opener. So they want to pack the house. They want to pack the house, and you guys can come out and watch our next guest. If you go to the EdmontonHuskies.com website, click on tickets. If you use promo code EST, you get half price off your tickets. And not to mention, under 18 kids with jerseys on, they're in for free. So it can be a really inexpensive family day for you. The weather looks like it's going to be great. Go check out Prairie Junior Football if you haven't yet. It is really good. And we're pleased to be joined by fifth-year starting quarterback of the Edmonton Huskies, Jackson Harnett. Jackson, how you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing lovely. We're just having a video game discussion. Okay.
Nice.
So in your life right now, are you into video games? And if so, what's your number one go-to?
I do play a little bit of video games, and I got to admit, I'm like most of the gentlemen who play football nowadays. I'm heavy into college football right now.
Okay, so that would be EA Sports College. What would it be? 2025 currently?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you create your own? Are you going dynasty mode? Are you creating your own team? What are you doing, Jackson?
You know, I mean, I definitely started off with the dynasty. Everyone's got to make their player and get them to the 99, get them to the best they can. But I do enjoy the online competitiveness with some players. Some players know that game inside and out and know all the tricks and tips to playbooks. So it's pretty neat as like a true football player to get on there and play with some guys who are just straight up skilled at video games instead of football.
Well, thank you for taking some time to join us here on the Reid Wilkins Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Jackson, tell us about your journey. Where did you start? How young were you when you started football? And what led to it ultimately becoming a fifth-year quarterback, starting quarterback for the Edmonton Huskies?
Absolutely. So I've grown up around football my whole entire life. I mean, I come from a small line of football. My dad played it especially, and my dad's been making me sit in front of a TV and watch football since I was in diapers. I first got into football when I was 6 years old, so I've been playing football for quite some time now, being 22. I played running back my first year, but ever since my second year of football, I've been a quarterback, and my journey has been steady ever since. I mean, I played it. I started because of my dad. I still play it because of my dad. But the amount of opportunities and the amount of players and coaches that I've met throughout the years, it's unbelievable and such an opportunity for anyone. And so the grind just keeps me going. And the pace of play and the spark that you get when you're on that field, it also keeps you going.
So were you in Edmonton? Did you grow up playing football in Edmonton?
Yeah, I grew up, all my football started in Edmonton. I was born in Kelowna, but I moved here when I was 5. Shortly after, found out that they had a CDMFA league here in Edmonton. And so my dad threw me in that because the starting age was 5 or 6.
And who'd you play for in the CDMFA?
Played for the West Edmonton Raiders. I played for them until my first year of Bantam. And then I ended up switching over because I knew that come high school that I wanted to play for Harry Ainley, being French immersion as well for schooling. And so I switched to the Edmonton Mustangs my second year of Bantam to kind of learn and meet Southside players before entering going to Harry Ainley, because once I entered Harry Ainley, I wanted to have kind of that good connection with some of the boys already, not kind of go in fresh start trying to meet everyone and learn players all over again.
Well, that's why we discovered yesterday that the smartest position on the football field is normally reserved for the quarterback, and I can see why, Jackson. What would you say is your greatest attribute or strength as a quarterback?
I definitely say that my strongest strength would be being a coachable player. I take great pride in being a coachable player. I mean, it doesn't really matter who or what. All throughout years of football, you get another coach who knows another small thing or who thinks something is completely different. And especially being at a quarterback position where mechanics are your number one thing, it's very important to be open and be willing to listen to those coaches so that you can execute to what they want and you're able to succeed with their mechanics as well.
Jackson, you sound like a coach's dream. Yeah, no kidding. I can't say I've come across many, athletes in general at your age that get it as clearly as that. So hats off to you. That's a great attitude and a great way to look at it. The coaching staff with the Huskies saw some new faces. They saw some coaches change some positions, including the head coach, Marshall Klein, who we had on this very show. What was the biggest difference for you as a player who's been through this coaching change throughout the offseason and leading into training camp?
I mean, I'd say that the change was extremely refreshing. The Edmonton Huskies were on a steady pace of about 4-4, 3-5 team, and it was time for something new. You know, I've been around Klein ever since I started with the Edmonton Huskies, since he was our O-line coach. And our O-line has no question, without a doubt, always been one of our strongest attributes with the Huskies. They've always been the most grittiest and sweat-determined players out there, and it was because of Marshall Klein. So I think him stepping up from the offensive line position to the head coach position is something that the Huskies really needed, because we really need that coach who's willing to go that extra grit and that extra mile for us. And Klein would put all of us on his back and carry us to the end zone if he could.
Jackson, you're incredibly well spoken. This is a great interview. I don't know if you do a lot of interviews or you like doing them, but you're certainly sounding great here today. What are some? Look, I know everybody wants to win the championship. What's an expectation for the Huskies though this season? How good can you guys be?
I mean, we all have personal goals. Our offensive coordinator, Coach Wilkie, has been grinding us and getting on us about creating personal goals for each other, but also creating offensive goals or defensive goals. I know that Tober has been working with the defensive guys and getting them to set goals too. But we just want to be successful together. And, you know, Klein stresses and he rehearses the quote of bond. And, you know, we're all brothers in this, and we all need to play as brothers. And so I think that a main goal for the Edmonton Huskies this year is to come out with a positive season record and doing it together too. No selfish plays out there on the football field. You know, we all play as one. We're all driving for one simple goal, and that's a win together.
What else are you doing with your life besides football? Because you sound to me like you're a pretty focused and well-rounded individual. Besides the football part of your life, what are some other pursuits and goals that you have?
I mean, football takes up a good amount of time in life, especially during the season. You know, off season is not too much different. You know, a lot of people think that you can just go and take a trip whenever you want during the off season, but quite frankly, 90% of our guys have been going after it since the December break. You know, so but I guess during my off season and during my off time, I do work full time at the moment, but I do aspire to be a Navy pilot. And so I would like to take my schooling down in Vancouver or Montreal, depending on the two, eventually. But I would also like to pursue football as far as I can.
Okay. So, and would that be even coaching if it went that way?
I mean, coaching's definitely an option.
Yeah.
I would like to take it as a player as far as I can.
Right.
And then from there, I'd probably take a small break and focus on flying, getting my piloting license, and making sure that I have a good background to go after. And then coaching would definitely be in the books for me because I can't get enough of this sport.
Okay, and I wasn't trying to suggest that your playing career is going to be done with the Huskies. Yeah. I just thought from listening to you speak, you from the few minutes you've been on, you seem to have the type of personality and delivery is that you could walk in front of a room full of 60 players and get them to focus and believe. So credit for you. What attracts you about possibly becoming a pilot?
Let's talk about this.
I mean, my grandpa has always been big into planes. He's always loved planes. His dad was a pilot as well. And so it's kind of always been in the background. Numbers is probably my biggest strong suit when it comes to schooling. You know, everyone grinds their teeth and grits about math, but that was never a problem for me. I kind of just flowed through that. And I would love to travel the world one day. And I think that being a pilot is kind of a cheat code when you get to take yourself wherever. You get a few day layovers to explore, and then you fly right back home. So, I mean, I know it's kind of difficult with like family life and stuff, but like as an early 20-year-old who wants to just travel, I think being a pilot is a great idea.
Okay, well, that's incredible. Good for you. Who are some athletes, football or otherwise, that you either follow or look up to?
Oh, okay. Well, I wear number 7 on the field, and I grew up as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And so I grew up watching Michael Vick a lot, which is where I originated my number. But lately, in the new era of football, as people say, I think Nathan Rourke is a fantastic quarterback for the BC Lions. I think his game style is great. I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks I've ever seen play the game. So any chance I get to watch the BC Lions play is a win for me.
I thought you were going to say number 7 because of Jim Sandusky.
Ooh, that would have been incredible. That is a good one.
That's a deep pull. I think I came up with a new nickname for you, Jackson, and you could tell me what you think about it. And if you want me, I can refer to you as this on the pregame show, which will happen right here on the Edmonton Sports Talk from noon to 1 on Sunday. That is August 10th as the Huskies take on the Regina Thunder. Jackson Air Show Harnett.
Ooh, I like it. I can definitely back it up. So I mean that's a natural fit
with the pilot. And then when you throw a touchdown, your celebration should be running to the end zone like you're an airplane.
Hey, first touchdown of the season, I can make that happen for you guys.
Boom! Absolutely. You heard it here first.
This is great. Okay, so you're ready to go this weekend? You got anything else? He's awesome.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of people watching on YouTube. There's a lot of people listening on EdmontonSportsTalk.com or the iHeart or TuneIn apps. Tell everybody, look, I played junior football. I was on the executive with the Wildcats for quite a while. I get it. I'm a big fan. But tell people that haven't been there why they should come and check out the home opener at JP Bowl this weekend, Jackson.
I mean, junior football is the next level of football that people don't realize. A lot of people like to look at hockey standards, and I think that if you're looking at hockey standards, if you're looking for a WHL game, you're looking at a junior football game. And if you want an Edmonton football team that can produce, provide, and win for you guys, then this Sunday, 1 p.m. at JP Bowl is where you would like to be. Because
was that a subtle shot at my beloved Edmonton Wildcats, Jackson?
No, we love everybody around here.
Well, they have struggled recently. I can't say. Look, one last question for you. Have you or are you watching the Netflix quarterback series?
I've watched a little bit of it, but Coach Klein's always told me that if I have time to watch my phone, I got time to watch film.
Oh, spoken like a true head coach. Jackson, this has been amazing. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. I know you got practice tonight. Are you at the Husky house now, or are you heading down there after this?
No, I'm heading down there as soon as we get off of this, though.
Okay, my man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. This was great. This has been Jackson Harnett, 5th-year starting Huskies quarterback. If you want to watch him live in action, head down to JP Bowl this Sunday, 1 p.m. kickoff. Where Jackson and his Huskies will take on the Regina Thunder. Jackson, good luck to you and your team this Sunday.
Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure being on here.
Wow, that was amazing.
Wait, it blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, right off the hop, I was very well spoken, very composed. Not that, but just very mature, well spoken, natural. Answered the questions very well, intelligent answers, thoughtful, but wasn't rambling like I tend to do sometimes.
Well, we both do.
And then he throws in, I could be a Navy pilot someday. Oh, really? That's all. Hey, Because
isn't that the best though? Isn't that when you find a local story, a local kid?
Yeah,
grew up here, went to Harry Ainley. Now he's leading the Huskies. He's got great aspirations in life after football. Whenever that happens,
yep.
That just like makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up, because that Jackson deserves an opportunity to be in front of you and be heard from him in this type of forum. So well done. And like I said, go to the Edmonton Huskies website, edmontonhuskies.com. Purchase tickets, use promo code EST. You get 50% off your tickets, and your kids are in for free. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. They've got food trucks, they've got a beer garden, and the football is good. And you'll get to hang out with Eric and I. What's better than that?
Even better.
Even better.
You can discuss the bird draft.
Probably.
Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta, your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Jed Roberts coming up in the final hour of the show. We have the Oil Understood. Who's going to get picked apart this season? Here's Ben first.
The Blue Jays crushed the Rockies 20-1 this afternoon to sweep the 3-game series. David Schneider launched 2 home runs, and Bouchard drove in 4 RBIs in the blowout win. The Edmonton Riverhawks wrap up both their series and regular season tonight with one final game against the Victoria Harbour Cats. First pitch is at 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who joined the Reid Wilkins show earlier this week, has been ruled out for Friday night's game against the Edmonton Elks. Over in the NFL, Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pileup during practice and came away with a bloody cheek, earning props from QB Drake May for setting the tone with toughness and energy. And on the hard court, the Edmonton Stingers are on the road in Saskatchewan to take on the Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. Listen live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. More of Reid and Jay on the Reid Wilkins Show after the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
When I played against Jason Smith and Jr., and it was only a couple of times, it always shocked me, his transition. Oh, this is a skilled puck-moving defenseman. We had this thing, we called it the Cobra Kai. Like he would basically grab people by the throat and one-arm them down. It was obviously a holding penalty now, but he would do it all the time, and he was vicious.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the Banquet in Aperol. We're sending one lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26. Details in store or on the Banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. If you're taking us in on the YouTube stream, you just got to see Jason Milne dancing, sort of. Maybe you're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. That is fine as well. However you are consuming Edmonton Sports Talk, we appreciate it.
I just want to point out, I can't text you back in the inbox from my computer right now. I could probably figure it out on my phone, but I'll just, Sasky Sheldon, I got your message. I've sent that on to the right people. And Barry the Cheater, I won't read that on air, what you said, obviously.
Oh, what happened?
But as a brother and Wildcat alum.
Oh, yeah. Was Barry a Wildcat?
He was,
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that. We'll have to chat about that.
Did he say something saucy about another team in the Prairie Football Conference?
Perhaps.
Was it the other Edmonton team?
Very likely.
Very likely.
That's all I'll say.
You'll just leave it
Barry,
at that.
I want to talk to you about that on at the Nasty Bash.
Now, when you were a Wildcat, which of the two teams... Because I feel as if the two teams have never been good at the same time.
They're usually not. When it was at Commonwealth?
Yes.
Against the Okanagan Sun?
Yes.
Yeah,
no, I think they won it the next year as well, didn't they?
What was that, like 02 or 03?
Oh, I can't remember. It might have been.
Yeah, they had quite a team then. That was after I left. I was already at the Bears. I can't speak for the Wildcats then.
No, right. Okay. Yeah. My cousin was a Husky. He was Strathcona. And I think he won provincials there. And then he was in the Huskies. And I think he might have won nationals twice. Did they win back-to-back nationals?
I don't know.
But he definitely won the one at Commonwealth because I went and watched. And there was a quarterback from Lloydminster. So Marty Kipps went to Simon Fraser. And Heath Williamson went to the Okanagan Sun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if those names... Well, Marty, you played against.
Marty, I played.
You probably hit.
I hit him very hard once.
Yeah.
It was a safety blitz.
Yeah.
And they gave him a draw, which is a delayed handoff. I blew him up in the backfield. He was thick, though. He was a short little guy, but his legs were the size of my waist. He was thick.
Yeah. He was a very good athlete. Okay. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Or as some people say, tick.
Who says that?
I don't know.
That's funny. We are in the banquet studio. Celebrate your birthday at the banquet bar. Harnett has a birthday coming up.
Yes.
Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. Well, you have a birthday coming up as well.
Yeah, but mine's
much
not.
Sooner.
Hernan's
in October.
Hernan's is a sweet 16. Big birthday.
Is it this week? It's this weekend, isn't it?
No.
Is it Sunday or next Sunday?
No.
Or next Saturday?
It's down the road.
No, it's coming up right away. Or
I thought it was August 24th.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so.
Well, it's one day in August.
One day in August. I don't know.
I'll just wish him happy birthday. I'll just come in everybody. Hernan, big day. And then if he's like, no, it isn't, I'll be like, no, but I meant for the little mouse that lives outside. I saw him in the parking lot. He's quite excited. All right. We have the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. You'll start saying it that way. Diesel. Understood. All right. How many days until the preseason game? Days until September 21st. 46 days until the Oilers play a preseason game. So 42 or 43 days.
Wow.
Training camp starts. So I was thinking, because anybody who lives in oil country and follows the Oilers even a little bit knows that there are the scapegoats, the whipping boys, right? And I guess what I'm going to define with this, it's not, a player has a bad game and he gets criticized and talked about. I'm talking about the players who, even when they play well, seem to somehow still get picked on and talked about, or somebody else makes a mistake. Oh no, it was actually that guy. Now you've lived this now as a talk show host for a season, and you've even kind of said this to me off air a couple times, where it's like, why are people bringing up this person today? Like, he wasn't even a factor in the game last night, or he actually played well. Why are we still getting people, I hate such and such? And I was like, no, I know, but some people fixate. So my top three, I guess if I want to call them scapegoats or whipping boys from this past season, where they seem to get, people just wanted to talk about them, no matter, usually in a negative sense, even when sometimes it was undeserved or wasn't the story of the game, were Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Stuart Skinner. And then now a guy who's no longer with the organization, and that's the goalie coach, Dustin Schwartz, who got booed by some fans at the home opener when he was introduced, which I didn't like, and I still don't like.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
So Dustin Schwartz, and now...
what about Jeff Skinner?
Sure.
But his was maybe deserved.
But I think it was deserved, or at least there was a discussion about it, as opposed to... fans saying, I just don't want him on the team. Like, there are still people who probably don't, I shouldn't say there are a lot of people, but I feel there are probably some Oilers fans who just don't want Evan Bouchard on the team, despite his production.
Are you serious?
I would think so.
How could that be?
Or they're still saying he's not worth the contract. Or just waiting for him to screw up in the first period of the first game of the season so they can say, see, shouldn't have kept him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just I don't know. I think that's quite a poor attitude to have. I mean, professional athletes,
sure, but that's what I'm
everybody
talking
makes
about.
Mistakes.
That's what I'm talking about. This isn't totally rational either.
Well, I think it is rational in the sense of Stuart Skinner, because unfortunately, you're the most criticized. You're the last line of defense.
Sure.
And when the puck goes past you, Yeah, it may not matter that Connor McDavid, skated the zone and left early and left you high and dry, but nobody's pointing the finger at Connor McDavid. They're pointing the finger at Stuart Skinner.
Right.
Who should have stopped that. So I think on any team, a goaltender is going to be public enemy number one in terms of scapegoat.
Yeah, fair. And I'm not saying
as is a quarterback.
I'm not saying that all the criticism directed at certain players might be undeserved. I'm saying just at times it was like, guys, we're not even talking about that player today. Like he wasn't a story, or he didn't play in that game, right? Or he wasn't on the ice when something happened. I don't put Nurse in this category anymore. We still get some of it, but I think there's been some moving on from the contract and realizing that Nurse just is who he is, whether he's actually worth that dollar amount or not. So my question is, though, with Dustin Schwartz gone, who becomes a new scapegoat? Who becomes a new player or person within the organization that will be criticized, maybe overly criticized and overly scrutinized, and will take a lot of blame, maybe some deserved, some not deserved? Who's that going to be? I'm curious what fans get the sense of. And
do you think Adam Henrique might fit that bill as a player on ice?
That's a good question. I wonder. The reason I wouldn't nominate him is because he is at a point in his career where you realize he might not be as productive as he was sooner.
Well, is he getting the benefit of the doubt?
And because
from fans.
Right. And is he...
Because he underperformed last year, and you didn't hear him.
Right. But his effort... Because the thing with Bouchard is, well, he scored 2 goals, but he caused 2. Or why did he do something that I knew I shouldn't do when I was 8, where he passed that puck?
Or why is he...
Like Henrique maybe is at the end of his career and might be getting overmatched, but I don't know if effort or intellect is ever criticized for him.
Bouchard's always going to have that, though, because he's sometimes frustrating to watch as a fan.
For sure.
And then you ask the question, well, why is Bouchard 60% better in the playoffs than he is in the regular season? Right?
Right.
That suggests something. I'll tell you, Reid, I'll tell you who, Oilers fans should hope the scapegoat is not.
Okay.
Because this could go sideways fast. This could be public enemy number one in terms of whipping boy is Trent Frederick.
Oh, interesting.
If he does not pull his weight and contribute offensively, defensively, there will be boos. there will be questions, because that was an alarming contract.
Sure.
That was just offered to him. Term, amount, everything would suggest that he's got a lot to prove. So I hope for Trent Frederick's sake, he is not on this list at the end of the year.
That's an interesting one, because if he, in the playoffs, he had 1 goal, wasn't overly dangerous, but he had the ankle injury, right? And I know he didn't want to talk about it too much, but the suggestion was that, he was pretty limited. He's been signed to be a pretty strong secondary player. And I think he has talked about himself having that capability as well, right?
Yep.
So if he's sitting there 2 goals at Christmas, people are going to be like, is this Toby Reeder all over again? Except he's got another 7.5 years on the contract. So that's a good point. He's in a situation where he's going to be highly scrutinized,
yes.
Right? That's a really good point. And for him, there's the expectation that there's going to be some grit and physicality as well.
And what about another new player like Andrew Mangiapane? There's expectations.
Yep.
I think the expectation is 20 goals or more for him.
I think that's the hope. I would hope he at least gets to 15.
But I think he's done that once in his career.
But he got way over.
Right? I think he was in the 30s or something. What about Nuge?
I don't know if he's beloved. I don't think I don't think he would ever have his game picked apart to the extent that some other guys do, because of the fact he's beloved, because of the fact that he was here through some of the crap years that weren't his fault. And at the bottom line is he's still a very good player. Like I know we talked about him at times this year where it's like, can there just be a little more? Mm-hmm. But he still does a lot of things well. You know, like, yes, sometimes you hope for some more points, but, you know, he does play the special teams. He does play in a lot of different situations. He is an intelligent player. So I don't know. And for this, we're kind of guessing how the fan, I don't know if the fan base would ever turn on Nuge at this point in his career where he becomes like scrutinized to the point where it's excessive or almost mean. I don't think that's I can't see that happening.
Well, I mean, his play needs to be better. That's what I'm saying. He's in jeopardy of maybe crossing that line if he delivers another season like he did have last year.
Who's that?
Nuge. And because he's got a new no move clause and he's signed till 2028, 29. That's probably another reason. Because you can't do anything about it even if you want to.
See, I think the guy that's really going to get targeted this year is Stan Bowman. If the team doesn't go well.
Sure.
So if Frederick doesn't pan out and Mangiapane doesn't pan out and the goaltending's no better with the same goalies and a new goalie coach, and neither Howard nor Savoy steps up, and we're still looking for a sixth defenseman, you know, depending on how Stetcher and Emerson play, then I really think we're going to see Bowman getting blamed for everything. And Bowman in the situation of he's never made a good move, even though, I mean, he has made some good moves. Mm-hmm. He's made some moves that can be criticized for sure. Maybe Jackson made some of those too. But I think that's where it's going to be, is that the bullseye is going to go on the GM.
That's it. That is probably the most likely.
Yeah.
Because if a few of these moves aren't panning out
right
in the first month and a half of the season, Stan Bowman wrecked the team.
Right. So if neither, let's say it's December 15th and both Ike Howard and Matt Savoy are in the American Hockey League and Frederick has 2 goals and Mangiapane has 3. Right? Are people going to criticize I mean, sure, they would criticize the players, but they're going to say, how can 4 guys that Stan Bowman brought in all be like, okay, sometimes you might hit a dud, but how can all of them be in that category?
But then why didn't Jackson get ripped last year as more than maybe?
Well, he did to some extent, I think.
To some extent. I think it's just easier for fans to feel satisfied about their complaining when it's directed at a player.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody they can see and watch and make their come up with their thoughts on this player.
Right.
As opposed to somebody that's sitting in a press box that you never see, never hear from, other than in the offseason.
Right.
But I think you're right. I mean, if those don't pan out, now Jeff Jackson, from every time it's brought up that, Stan Bowman did this, Stan Bowman did that, it's made very clear. I mean, I've heard Tommy talk about it, that it's Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman.
Sure. Well, yeah, so maybe they both will be. And let's face it, a lot of fans love to criticize the GM because some fans still have that in the back of their mind. I could have done a better job. I know talent better than the guy who's been putting teams together in the NHL for years. Let's face it, that is part of it. Or my fantasy hockey team is really good. I would have known better.
Yeah.
If I was in that position.
That's Harnett to football. He thinks he should be the OC for the Elks.
Well, maybe he will be someday.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Keep dreaming. Yeah, I know, and that's, I don't know, that thought, the people that think that they're better than a GM that's done it for a long time, that knows and has all the relationships across the league, that just doesn't happen overnight.
No.
But everybody's an armchair GM. Everybody's an armchair goaltending coach. Everybody's an armchair
Well,
Paul Coffey.
that's the fun of being a fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay to think that. Whether it's right or wrong or true or false.
Yeah.
TBD, bro.
Anyway.
That was interesting. The scapegoat. Well, we've covered off about as much questions about the Oilers in the offseason. Where are we going to keep going?
Well, we're gonna go a lot of different places with them. We got a lot to talk about with them. We only got 40 some days until there's a preseason game to
40 some games, eh?
46 days until a preseason game. Yeah.
Wow.
Is Jed here already? Is that him just peeking in? All right, perfect. I want to let people know quickly here. You can text us at 780-218-9999. If you do so, you're using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. Brad Marchand in the Nasty Chat says, I've talked to a lot of GMs. You're smarter than most of them, Reid. Glue Guy, however, doesn't appreciate talent like me. He'd be a terrible GM.
That's correct.
Well,
I would be.
He would not have put you on Team Canada for the Four Nations face-off, Brad, even though you had a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, is he going to
nice Brad is still tuning in.
Is he going to the Olympics, though?
Wasn't he already named? Wasn't he one of the
he's on the
No, but wasn't he
named?
pre-named?
Yeah.
Who were the pre-named guys?
Wasn't
he one of them?
It
was McDavid, McKinnon, McCarr,
Point, Marchand, Makar. Oh, sorry.
There were 6, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or was this Four Nations you're talking about?
No. They pre-named guys to the Four Nations, but they pre-named guys.
McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon.
Oh, Crosby.
Yeah.
Wasn't Marchand one of them?
Crosby, McKinnon, Makar, McDavid, Point, and Reinhardt.
Oh, Reinhardt, not Marchand.
Not Marchand.
Okay, Brad. Well, Brad, you got some work to do, buddy.
Bro.
I mean, maybe you should be spending less time in the Nasty Chat and maybe doing a little more aerobic workout.
Hit the gym.
Workouting. Yeah.
Pipsqueak.
Lift a weight.
Yeah. You ever heard of him?
Lift a weight.
You heard?
All right. 5 o'clock break then, Jed.
The Oil Stream.
Who are the top 5 Oilers captains in franchise in history?
Moose, number 1.
Moose ahead of Gretz?
Yes.
Okay, who's number 2? Wayne?
It's got to be Wayne.
Where do you go from here?
Well, let's go through Bucky.
Yes. Shane Corson.
Doug Wade.
Where does McDavid stack up in all of this?
I think he's pretty high up on the list.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YEG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YEG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss award-winning platinum country artist Jake Owen at the River Cree Resort and Casino, August 15th. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Okay, 2 kids, 2 backpacks, lunch bags. Wait, where are the school books? Back to school doesn't have to mean the everyday rush and stress of looking for your kids' items. Have more zen in your mornings. Find space for your family's needs with Sentinel Storage. Go back to school with 4 weeks free. Reserve your space today and find the peace of mind your morning needs. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
The Blue Jays dominated the Rockies 20-1 this afternoon to complete the 3-game sweep. David Schneider hit 2 home runs while Bouchard drove in 4 runs in the offensive explosion. The Edmonton Riverhawks play their final game of the series and the regular season tonight against the Victoria Harbour Cats. First pitch is scheduled for 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who appeared on the Reid Wilkins show earlier this week, has been ruled out for Friday's matchup against the Elks. At Patriots practice, head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pile during a drill and came out with a bloody cheek, earning praise from quarterback Drake May, who says Vrabel's intensities sets the tone. And on the hard court, the Edmonton Stingers are in Saskatchewan to face the Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. You can catch it live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Jed Roberts joins the show with Reid and Jay here. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
All right, here we are. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. So Elks at Montreal on Friday. It's a 5:30 game. So Jason Milne and Matthew Iwanek will have the Green and Gold kickoff show at 4:30. So the Reid Wilkins show will go for 90 minutes. Then it'll morph into the kickoff show, all from the St. Albert Rugby Club. Then Jay and I will hop back on to take you into the weekend from 5:30 to 6. And then post-game show from the Nasty Bash from the Rugby Club on Friday, which is going to be pretty cool. If you're watching us on YouTube, you see our very special guest, Jed Roberts, Double E alum. So we brought you to the new office, buddy. What do you think?
Oh, man, it's beautiful. I wish the viewers could have a tour. It's unbelievable. Like, you've got so many possibilities here. It's like 5 times the space you had before, and got 2 bathrooms that are actually inside the studio.
Which is nice, yes.
So, yeah. I mean, that alone.
And you didn't have to, almost break your hips getting into the position here in the studio, which was
humble
nice.
beginnings, but I think that this move kind of reflects the trajectory of this the unit you guys have put together here. It's really something. It's been fun watching you guys get it up off the ground, and I'm just happy that I'm able to be a part of it.
Well, thanks for saying that, and thanks for almost coming up on a year now of being a regular here on the show with Jay and I, which is awesome. All right, we're going to talk Elks and who knows what else. But people have probably heard Ben talking about this in the afternoon. I don't know if there's a good photo of this or video, Ben. If you got it, you can put it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our YouTube people, will see it here. This might be a second or two behind Jed. So this was at, what do they call these, Jay? Controlled scrimmages or something like that?
Yeah, like a shared practice.
Shared practice. So it was your team.
Yeah, the Commanders.
And the Patriots. So the Patriots coach is now Mike Vrabel, who played for them, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the guy? Was he Tennessee for a few years?
Yes. Yeah, he's an intense guy.
He's an intense guy. So there was a scuffle at practice. So Vrabel, did you hear about this already, Jed? So Vrabel, the head coach, decides he's going to break this up. And I guess he got cut. Like, he's not seriously injured, but he got nicked up, I guess, in the thing. So, okay, a couple of things for this. So this is training camp. Elks are already in season. We'll talk about them. This is training camp. When you're an Esk, would you fight with teammates?
Absolutely.
Or would you have teammates fight each other?
100%, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that was something that sometimes we would preordain them. We would get together at lunch, and maybe it would be Tim Princeton or something. Hey, man, we got to get the guys going, and let's mix it up. And then we would go out there one-on-ones, and then as soon as the ball snapped, whack, 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 we're hitting each other. And different coaches had different reactions to it. Like Ronnie would just shake his head and kind of roll his eyes. A guy like Kay Stevenson, who was only with us for 1 year, you really couldn't tell what he was going to do. If he was in a bad mood, then he would take it out on us and make us do conditioning. Matthews would laugh. He would think it was funny and just kind of think it was part of the whole process of getting a team to come together. Fights are funny because, you're wearing a football helmet. You've got equipment. I mean, nobody's getting hurt unless you're dumb and keep your helmet off, which has happened. I punched somebody in college, an old lineman that went after my roommate. He didn't have his helmet on, and I don't know. If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have done what I did, but I did punch him, and I gave him a pretty good black eye. So that's on him for not wearing his helmet.
So you and Princeton, so you must have known, though, okay, we're not going to. So would you just jostle and make it look?
No, he would swing. Yeah. And Princeton's a strong dude.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he's a strong guy. But, I mean, sometimes in the doldrums when you're on day like 8 or 9 and it's just you just want to spice things up. And I've seen it where coaches are just like, yep, everybody in, let's go. That's it. They cut practice off right then. And so.
Oh, really?
We would laugh and smile at each other and go, it worked.
So do you think, though, because the first thing you said was to get the team going.
Yeah.
Do you think it was, those tactics were successful in somehow getting a message across to maybe guys that weren't into it all as much as they should?
Yeah, you get into the sort of a rut and you can just kind of going through the motions, especially when you're about halfway through week 2.
Yeah.
And it's just, same thing, different day type of thing. It's very similar to kind of hockey where you got to get something going. Like you always have those instigators on teams that, they're the guys who kind of get things going and get people's emotions. And that's something that I think I was more of an emotional guy. I was prone to doing things like that and, kind of get people going. But, it was never something that we took off the field and it never carried off the field. We always left it on the field.
Okay, so you and Princeton planned it.
Yep.
But there must have been guys. So you and Princeton, like, you were still under control. Like, you knew, okay, we were doing this. We probably got a line. But there must have been guys that actually hated the other guy or just got sick of going up against another guy.
I know we had a guy one year, I think it was 99 or 2000, Hisham El Mastoub.
Oh, yeah, I remember him, yeah.
And he just was a guy, I don't know what it was, but there was just something about him. People just couldn't really handle being around him. And so, like, that guy was in fights every day. And so that was different. That's something where, like Doug Peterson wanted to kill him. Doug Peterson couldn't abide being in the same room with him. Just a personality conflict. And he had a personality conflict with everybody on the team.
Yeah.
And I think he actually even he got himself. He's deceased now, so may he rest in peace. But he was a different guy. He was just a guy that just didn't play well with others. And some guys are like that, and they just come off the wrong way, and people just want to take.
So then Doug would actually be looking to take a shot at it. But he's a teammate though, Jed.
Yeah, Doug didn't need a reason. Doug was not a guy you wanted to mess with either. He was incredible.
But there are people that come into camps, especially new players, that don't fall in line.
Yep.
Don't know their spot or their place in the locker room, that need to be straightened out.
Yep.
And you got to say, hey, man, this is how we do it here. And whether you're saying it or you're just punching them as hard as you can in the back of the kidneys when, they need to know that there's more things here than just you.
Yeah.
This team has been around a lot longer than you. So often it would be something that would happen with younger players, yeah?
Yeah, but this was an exception. This guy was an older guy, and 99% of the time, Jay, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's that 1%, that outlier that doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't.
He just said, "Bring it on."
Maybe a sociopath, or maybe I don't know. I'm not going to diagnose him.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'll add to about that is whenever I hear somebody talk about fights in the NFL, it almost always involves a joint practice.
Yeah.
And that they're notorious for having, because people are trying to make the team and, they're trying to put an impression. And so I almost always expect that when they're having joint practices, there's almost always a fight, especially in the inside period with the linemen.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you're a more seasoned individual, if you were the coach of it, like you said, some coaches liked it. If you were now a CFL head coach and he actually was a DB, let's say by some stretch of the imagination, I was actually a receiver, and we're going up against each other and hand fighting him, and I'm blocking him on running plays and he's throwing me aside. And then Wilkins and Milne start to fight in practice. Would you be like, oh yeah, I got these two Bulldogs on my team? Or would you be like, for crying out loud, you guys, we only got so many spaces on the roster. Like a
little bit of both. We're not playing ourselves on the schedule type of thing. I would try to use it as a teachable moment.
Okay.
I like your passion. I love to compete, but let's dial it down. We're not playing ourselves on the schedule. That type of thing. But you always like to see the emotion. You always like to see the passion. Sometimes emotions get the best of you, and it's better to have it happen in practice than in a game when there's 15 yards and objectable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you'd sooner say, "Hey, hope you got it out of your system."
Yeah, because if that happens in the game, you're done.
You're benched.
Well, and by the time a lot of these camps too, you're seeing and you're looking across the line at the same jackass day over day over day.
and they're not brushing their teeth, and
and it wears on you.
Or, they don't take a shower, and it gets old really fast. Especially in the inside when you're going up against the same guy every day,
right?
And their tricks.
Very physical, yeah.
So Gizmo, I mean, he was a bit of a loose cannon, I would think. I mean, he must have had some moments throughout the training camps that you've spent with him.
Well, Gizmo, the first practice, the first day of training camp in 1998, we had a brand new coach. And he's up there giving his infamous heater speech where he says, if you've got a heater, hand it in. And
like the gun stuff, right? Yeah.
It gets cold up here, coach, right? Like, I don't want to hand in my heater. And he goes, no, I meant a gun, right? And so I go, oh, okay, well, weird. But in that same meeting, just as Coach Stevenson was starting to talk, Gizmo ran across the stage wearing absolutely no clothes. And all the guys from out of town were like, what? What's going on, right? They didn't understand. Like, they didn't know about the legend that was Gizmo Williams. And he just had save for a towel on his head, he had it done up kind of high up like a turban.
And what was the reason? Just to be Giz?
Just to get everybody going, like keep everybody loose. And Giz was, you know what? I didn't breathe anything quite like when he left, because in 2000, after he retired, you can't replace a guy like that. That leaves a big hole in your roster when you have a glue guy like that.
It's hard.
Jay's our glue guy. Talk about Corey Perry with the Oilers. They're gonna miss that. They're gonna miss because that presence, that guy, he just settles everybody down, and that's what Giz was for so many years. I mean, people saw what he did on the field, and there's no question that he's legendary for his ability to return to football and do it. But he's even as great as he was at that, he was even greater at being a guy in the dressing room that would keep everybody loose.
Right.
He would get on the intercom on the plane and do announcements and make fun of guys. Like if a guy wore an old coat, we were flying commercial. So, there was other people like the general public on the plane. So Gizmo would grab the intercom and go, Spoke. His name is Fogel, was our defensive back. He goes, Spoke, this is your jacket. Spoke, we've been together since junior high. Spoke, I'm scared. Get me out of the overhead bin. I can't breathe. I'm getting claustrophobic. And then he'd run over and he'd grab the jacket. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what this gentleman's been wearing. He's making a football salary and he can't afford a new coat. He would just eviscerate guys, and it would just make everybody really happy. And it was awesome to have that around.
So then, what do you think about? So there's the skirmish, whatever, at the Patriots Commanders scrimmage, whatever they call it. What do you think of the head coach actually breaking it up?
That's a bit of an unusual, and that speaks to kind of like what Vrabel, when you brought his name up, I automatically, because he was an intense player. Mm-hmm. Like, he was a defensive player, and he was a very physical guy, right? And he still, I think, all of us, like, whether we want to admit it or not, Jay, think we still have one more play left in us, right? And I'm 57, and I still sometimes wake up and think, yeah, I got one kickoff left in me.
Right.
And that's just a case of him a little bit overestimating his ability to get between two very giant human beings and think that he can, and if he got cut, that's on him, man.
Right, yeah. So what would you do on your one final kickoff?
I'd probably get about 12 yards down and blow my hamstring and then wave for the trainer.
You would just try to grab somebody and hang on to them and pull them down with you. Did my job.
Yeah. I'm taking somebody with me.
All right. Great stories. We're going to dive into the Elks. We'll look. I know it was a few days ago, but we'll look back quickly with you on the Hamilton game because we haven't seen you since then, and we'll look ahead to this weekend against a pretty banged up in some pretty key positions Montreal Alouettes team, and we'll get you to forecast that one. Jed Roberts is here. It's 19 after 5. Here's Ben.
The Blue Jays rolled past the Rockies 20-1 this afternoon to complete a dominant 3-game sweep. Davis Schneider crushed 2 homers and Bouchard added 4 RBIs in the win. The Edmonton Riverhawks play their final game of both the series and regular season tonight against the Victoria Harbour Cats. First pitch is at 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who joined the Reid Wilkins show earlier this week, will miss Friday's game against the Elks. At Patriots practice, head coach Mike Vrabel jumped into a pileup during a drill and walked away with a bloody cheek, something QB Drake May says reflects the intensity the team is trying to build. And on the hard floor, the Edmonton Singers visit the Saskatchewan Rattlers tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30. You can listen to the game live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. More of Jed Roberts on the other side of break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Marc-Olivier Brouillette, what have you made of McLeod Bethel Thompson? And is the leash a little bit shorter this week?
If you look back at last week's game, I think Bethel Thompson took a step back. All signs seem to point towards Bethel Thompson getting the start, but I wouldn't be surprised if that offense struggles again early in that football game. We may see a lot more of Caleb Evans.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. We're having a fun show tomorrow. Going to have another fun show, including Canadian comedy legend. I don't think that's an understatement.
Not at all.
Colin Mockery's going to be on the show tomorrow. Now, whose line is it anyway that launched him into the public eye, right?
Because that was a big show.
Right.
I mean, that was Drew Carey, Wayne Brady, Ryan Stiles.
And then they'd usually have a guest. Didn't Robin Williams do it once even? Wouldn't they bring in a other person?
I can't
remember.
I loved that show. That was a great show. We should maybe play a little bit of Whose Line Is It with them tomorrow.
Yeah, see if he'll just, but that's when he's at the Fringe. So I got tickets to one of his shows today. So that's fun coming up. We got a great guest in studio with us right now, Jed Roberts. All right, so thanks for the stories about fighting your teammates. Now, let's just look at the Hamilton game. The drop at the end, that's probably what I'm going to remember 5-10 years from now. Probably some other missed opportunity. Like, I'm Jed. I realize they're doing some things well, but I'm just frustrated walking out of that stadium again, as it's felt for the last 6 or 7 years. Couldn't quite get over the hump against a good team. How do you look at that Hamilton game, first of all?
Well, I like to take a little bit of a step back and not just look at the one game, but just kind of the trend over the last little while. And I think we paid a lot of attention, especially when I come in and talk about the offense. I think I'm going to talk about the defense a little now. 1 interception.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think 4 sacks, something like that.
Less than 1 a game, yeah.
1 fumble recovery.
All league lows.
Yeah, and you can't, if you're not creating turnovers, if you're not capitalizing on turnovers, if you're not confusing opposing quarterbacks, if you're not pressuring them, if you're not disguising your coverages, and I'm not saying that we're not, but I think the results speak for themselves. This is the one area on this team right now. I think the offense played well enough to win. You know,
even with the goal line failure. Okay.
They were in position.
Okay.
They did their part. Just don't see the defense doing that right now. They're not capitalizing on anything. They're not making offenses uncomfortable. Quarterbacks are entirely too comfortable to operate back in the pocket. They can't generate pressure with 4 people, which is what your goal is really, as a defensive coordinator. And they spend a lot of money on that front 4. Right now, they're just not getting any return on that investment, aside from Jake Ceresna.
Right.
He's probably one of the best interior pass rushers in the game, but he can't do it by himself. We have to have pressure with 4. If you can't, then you've got to generate pressure somehow, whether that's disguising your coverages or sending an additional blitzer from an unpredictable spot, or
Have you found that when they inject movement into that D line, that it helps?
It does.
Like, I find far too often, and this is the same problem with the offensive side, is there's just no creativity.
Yeah.
It seems like it just seems to be bull rush, bull rush, bull rush. Jared Brinkman trying to bull rush, bull rush. But I mean, if you can have some motion on that and open up and confuse the O line,
or even stem before the snap. You know what I mean? Like, and by that, listeners might not know what stemming means, but that's where you line up in one spot and then you move to another spot. And what that does is it confuses the offensive line, and not confuses them, but they
makes
have
them think
responsibilities about who they're going to block. And so if you move a little bit before the snap, then it confuses their count. And I don't see them doing that. I don't see them kind of shifting or doing a whole lot of moving. I think it's just like teams know what they're lined up in, and they're just picking them apart right now. It's just, I agree with you, Jay. There's no creativity. I just don't see a lot of urgency. I don't see a lot of passion. I mean, turnovers are a lot of that is just based on, you teach your guys to punch the ball out.
Yeah.
Teach you guys to be opportunistic, and as the defense, if you're not creating turnovers and you're not taking advantage of that, your offense is not going to win games for you. It doesn't matter what you do, And I think the defense has been on the field long enough that there should be more than just one fumble.
That's
recovery,
a good point. Yeah,
the numbers are really disappointing, and I think that coming down the stretch, I'm going to be very curious to see if that changes. And I think that they're capable of doing that. I said this last week. I said, the offense can absolutely play better, and they did. They did play better. That Bouchard had a couple passes that I would like back. That deep one that he got picked off on, I thought that's the thing about him, is his deep ball, sometimes it takes a little while to get there. And if you've got a good safety like Jay's going to pick it off, or he's going to make the receiver pay, like he often did when he played for the Golden Bears. But I think that they did a really good job of getting the ball out of Cody's hands very quickly.
Yeah.
And you really saw the difference, and it really opened everything up. They were able to do a lot of different things, and it was encouraging to see that. But I'm disappointed in the defense right now. It's kind of on them.
Okay, here's what and this is my, I'm not as trained as you guys, but I said this to Jay yesterday. It looks to me like the defense got burned deep a fair bit earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. And now that's not happening. It seems like they're like, nobody's getting behind us. Yeah. So they're giving up short passes and then trying to hustle to tackle, which they've done okay with. But you're not going to get an interception if you're 7 yards away from the guy catching the ball. You might be able to run up to him and tackle him before he gets a lot of yards, but you got to be near the ball to intercept it.
And that's a mentality, right? Like when you're tackling people, you have to actively work at that every day. Like I know as a coach, I try to work with if I'm working with linebackers, we work on that. Like we incorporate that into our everyday drills where we're punching the ball out. We're trying to capitalize on turnovers and just creating that ball hawk mentality. That's a personality. That's an identity. Like, and it's your defense. If your identity is to play quarters and just sit back and not let anybody beat us deep, but we're going to give up the underneath and the intermediate occasionally when, they get it right, then you better be reacting up and you better be punching that ball out, because that's got to be your identity. I don't know. I'd like to see them be more aggressive, and you're gonna give up the long ball occasionally. Right. But right now, what they're doing clearly is not working. So they've got to change something.
Just to put a cap on that game, obvious drop pass by Julian Grant.
Yeah.
And he dropped one in Winnipeg, the one that went off his face mask. Now, I know he does have a couple other nice receptions. And was it Regina? Was it him that got the Regina long touchdown off the scramble?
The play after he dropped one.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, like, as a teammate, when do you stop feeling bad for the guy who made the mistake and start feeling bad for all the guys who executed properly on the play?
Yeah, that's something that, as a former player, I look at that and I go, That's demoralizing, especially when the game is on the line, to have that ball go right through his hands. And a great throw by Cody in that moment. Like, that's exactly where the ball needed to go. He made the right read. It was there. You've got to be able to look the guys in the room in the eye and say, hey, when my number is called, I'm going to stand up and be counted, and everybody's going to see it, right? But the reverse is true, too. Like, if you start to drop those, then it becomes something that, you know what, I don't know if we can count on this guy. And that's one of the things about that receiving core is there's no real clear-cut number 2 receiver or number 3 receiver. It's just like they got the main guy, and then everything else is just kind of like, well, I guess we'll try this guy. Maybe we'll try this guy. But nobody's really stepping up and making plays on that receiving core.
Well, is Dunbar, Jay's brought this up, is Dunbar an actual number 1 on most teams?
He is their number 1, but he'd be a number 2 or 3 on any
like a
other
good
team.
2 or 3, yeah.
And so that's one of the things that, you know, maybe we should have kept some of the receivers that we let go last year, you know. But I don't know. It's growing pains. We're going to go through it. This is going to be a learning year for sure. And I'd like to see them start to make some changes on defense, because I think that if they do that, the offense right now is playing well enough that they'll win some games.
See, that's interesting because a lot of people aren't talking about the defense as much the last 2 weeks, right? Because they held the Riders to 21.
Yeah.
And after Hamilton scored early, they kind of kept them off the board until Bo Levi said, well, I need a touchdown. I'm going to go and get a touchdown.
And he knew he was going to get the touchdown. Like, you even saw him after they said, was there ever any doubt? He knew he was going to get it. Like, he knew that the way that the Elks play their defense, it's a very soft, like almost they're dropping 4 guys deep, and there's all kinds of seams underneath, right? And so all he had to do was be patient.
Well, Jay, I asked Jay about that yesterday, and he did a great job explaining on air like how Bo was basically moving Elks defenders around to where he wanted them to be.
Yep. And no matter what the Elks defender does, he's wrong. Like
it's a lose-lose situation.
And he was picking on guys. He was picking on when the Canadian kid came in there. He was
the Blanco.
He was getting.
You saw that, yeah. He was getting used a few
because
times.
I mean, there's nothing he can do in that moment, right?
But that's when needing pressure from a 4-man front.
Thank you.
And making Bo Levi uncomfortable. AKA not allowing him to use his eyes to manipulate players because he's thinking about the rush.
Yeah.
See how that goes hand in hand.
It does.
And one pays off the other. And it's just not happening consistently. Yes, they have gotten pressure, and you can see it. It makes an immediate impact on the game. But that needs to happen a lot more often for this team. Otherwise, they're going to continue to struggle. Now, heading into this week's game, Friday night, in Montreal, I mean, Montreal has a lot of banged up players and players in important positions and roles. This is almost a godsend for a team that is struggling to finally get a W. But Jed, if this team could go out and get a win, speak to, because look, not every team, not every year you played were you go into the Grey Cup or competing for it, right? You had a great run, but when a team needs a win like this and they go out and get it, how much does that change the locker room and the feeling in the vibes in that locker room? Hell, even in the whole organization immediately.
It just makes everything easier, like everything's a little bit lighter, everything's a little bit more tolerable. The conditioning doesn't suck so bad. The food tastes a little bit better. The relationships you have in the room are a little bit lighter. There's a little bit more confidence. You start to have a little bit more swagger. It's tough when you're losing. Like, you go through, and I say this, and thank you for saying that, we had a good run. I never missed the playoffs when I played, right? Like 13 years, we made the playoffs. Never became close one year, but because the Saskatchewan Roughriders exist, we made the playoffs in 1999. But so I can't, it's tough, right? Like, I watch these guys, and it's contagious. When you lose, it's like you find ways to lose, and that's indicative of that play where the kid had their ball in his hand and he dropped it. And it's just like, man, these guys can't get a break, but sooner or later they're going to get the bounces, but they've got to create their own breaks, and they've got to be a little bit more aggressive on defense and a little bit more creative on offense like they were last week and getting the ball out of Cody's hands. Cody, you can't let him think. You just got to let him deliver. Get him to deliver, let the guys make plays. They got to run the ball, and I agree with you, Jay. Like, they've got to get pressure with 4 guys. They've got to do it consistently. They've got to have guys on the edge. Pressure right now is just not there. They just don't have guys on the edge that are coming with their ears pinned back, ready to just take somebody out.
Yeah, there's no Willie Jefferson here.
Nope. There's nobody like that.
I want to bring something up to you, Jed. Last weekend, the Green and Gold kickoff show and postgame show, I was here, but Matthew Iwanek, the regular host of the show, was at a wedding. So Taylor Inglis filled in. My former teammate at U of A, obviously played on the Double E from 05 to 11, then played 1 year with Winnipeg. And I asked him, how long, because, Reid's often said this, that he's in a bit of a different position here because he talks about the team on this medium, but yet he and his family have had season tickets for a long time. So when you say, the process has started, you can see this organization making the turn. But I asked Taylor this, how long do you expect the Reid Wilkins of the world and several other hundreds of thousands of fans to wait? And Taylor's response was, as long as it takes.
Yeah.
But he was very, very bullish on the people that are in charge now. Yep. And he said, don't worry. Yep. Almost, I think at one point he said to me, well, what'd you expect in year one? A 12-6 season? They're going to be growing pains. But can you speak on that a little bit of somebody who's been around those people that are in charge now and just from an organization standpoint?
Well, I mean, you can use the analogy of being a tradesman. You take over a project. If you're flipping a house, you come in, there's issues with the house right away. Like, you can't expect the house to be like the bell of the ball right off the bat. You've actually got to put some money into it. You've got to go in. You've got to look and see if this foundation is sound. Do we need to replace it? You know what I mean? Do we need to tear it down and build it all up again? That's kind of where we're at right now. I think there's more tearing down happening right now than building up. And I think they didn't even have all their guys in yet when they came in. They kind of came in a little bit late. It's going to be – I've always been kind of a glass half full guy, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I was thinking, well, there's nothing that says they can't, and if you don't win the early games, they haven't, then it becomes a bit of an issue. It's tough to dig yourself out, and so here we are. But I totally agree with Taylor. I think that they have the right people in place, have the right tradesmen. They know what they're doing. They're all Red Seal trail tradesmen. They know their pedigree speaks for itself. But the old girl needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
We got to get the bones in. We've got to, get all the, replace what needs to be replaced and get rid of what needs to be get rid of and bring in what you need to make it a viable and more attractive commodity.
All right. We'll close here. You mentioned getting breaks. Sometimes a break could be the health of the other team. Montreal backup quarterback, our buddy Justin Lawrence, who was on the show yesterday, U of A grad, not going to play at center. Is it their two best receivers or two of their top three? How would you characterize guys?
Their top DB.
And then their safety's out, and I think there was somebody else too. Like, is this the break that they can maybe jump on a Montreal? Like, is this?
But I'll tell you, pump the brakes a little bit on that because Jason Moss is not going to let his team lose to Edmonton. Especially the way he got run out of town, and rightfully so.
And they just got crushed by Saskatchewan, too.
So he's not going to let his guys mail it in. He's the most competitive coach I've ever seen. And people see that passion in display sometimes, and he's actually reined it in quite a bit in the last couple of years. But he'll have his guys ready to play. Whoever shows up will be – the mandate will be we're not losing to the green and gold. So, but you're right. It's a great opportunity for this team to start building some momentum coming into the second half here. And Labor Day is the halfway point, right? And you're getting pretty close to Labor Day now. There's still time to turn it around. There's still time to string together some wins, and I believe in this group. I think that there's nothing that says on paper that front four should be dominating.
Should be.
So.
Well, that was Brinkman's best game.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Brinkman's been improving. I'll give him that. Help them out. Do some movement on the D line because every time they seem to have done it, it's been successful.
Yeah. Right. When they run stunts, line stunts.
Yeah.
And, even when they bring in a fifth guy, and when they, I would like to see them shifting around a little bit more to kind of create a little bit of
uncertainty
in the offense.
Yes.
It's just the offense is like, okay, we're running a 40, right, boom, boom, and they know who they're blocking, and then it doesn't deviate.
Okay.
It's just there's something to be said for creating some instability by moving around and. You know, when you're a center and you call out the front and the front stays the same through the whole game.
Okay, so my question. I know. So I do have another question. Should Sherritt be correcting that?
Yes.
Or should the players on the field know? Okay, we don't line up in the same spot all the
That's a
time.
scheme thing.
Okay.
And I'm not second guessing the defensive coordinator. Sherritt's a heck of a coach. But yes, and I think a lot of that could be because he's, you know, it's a new relationship.
Yeah, he's new.
And that grows and it evolves, right? And it shouldn't be staying the same. And that's the thing that's a bit alarming for me is that I'm not seeing any change in turnover. Because that's usually for me, that's an indication of what kind of defense you have. You're able to create and capitalize on turnovers. That in turn helps the offense, which then the offense gets another opportunity. And that's an emotional thing, you know. And if you don't have any turnovers, there's no emotion happening out there. There's no oh, come on, guys. So the guys aren't able thinking they can count on each other, right? You know, think about when a team goes 2 and out. What does that do to the defense? Oh, you know, not again, right? It's the same thing for the offense. We're like, man, why can't we get a turnover, right? Like, that's exciting especially as a fan. You know? There's nothing more exciting.
There's nothing better than a turnover, and the defense is running off. The offense is sprinting on. Let's go, boys! You know,
well, even what Cody Grace did. I know that wasn't a turnover, but it was getting the ball unexpectedly. Yeah, like how exciting that was.
Yeah, it turned into a field goal. Right. You know, like capitalize. Yeah, you have to capitalize on momentum swings. Yeah. That's like number one.
It's been very mechanical this year on defense. I just don't see a lot of passion and creativity. Like, I'd like to see that change. And if it does, I think we're going to see some, we'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right. Well, I would love to be. Jed, I'm always thrilled when you are on and especially when you come in. So thanks for taking the time to come to the new office. We love having you. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy the game on Friday.
Thanks.
That is Jed Roberts. Here comes Ben.
The Blue Jays blow out the Rockies 20-1 this afternoon to finish off a 3-game sweep. David Schneider hit 2 home runs and Bouchard drove in 4 runs as Toronto stays hot atop of the American League. The Riverhawks close out their series and regular season tonight with one final game against the Victoria Harbor Cats. First pitch goes at 7:35. Montreal Alouettes center Justin Lawrence, who appeared on the Reid Wilkins show earlier this week, has been ruled out for Friday's matchup with the Elks. At Patriots practice, head coach Mike Verbal jumped into a pileup during a drill and left with a bloody cheek, a move QB Drake May says shows the kind of intensity the team wants. And on the hard court, the Edmonton Stingers are in Saskatchewan to take on the Rattlers. Tip-off is at 7:30. Catch it live on our audio streams only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Reid Wilkins and Jade Milne wrap up the show on the other side of break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Dave Naylor.
Nobody wants to hear this in Edmonton, but defensively, the Elks the last 2 weeks have put up their best performances. The Cody Fajardo switch, I don't think based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks, anybody has much of an argument about who gives them the best chance to win right now. And that's got to be what it's about for the Elks because they got to rebuild this fan base. And another season is about to get away from them here.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Goodbye! You sure are going to miss them, but their room would make a great yoga studio. Store their childhood treasures safely with Sentinel Storage and find some space for you. Try 4 weeks free. SentinelStorage.ca.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YEG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YEG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
All right, thanks for checking out the show. Great to have Jed Roberts in studio. Speaking of the Blue Jays, I just saw this. OptaStats put this on X. The Blue Jays had 63 hits in their 3-game series with the Rockies, winning 15-1, 10-4, and 21. Most hits a Major League team has had in any 3-game span since the New York Giants had 66 hits in August of 1933.
Wow. History has been made.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, they were on fire against the Colorado Rockies. I remember when the Colorado Rockies were a hockey team. Jay and I are coming to you for Jay's like, I don't. What are you talking about, Wilkins? Go back to bed. We are in the Banquet studio craving a late night snack. Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet, get real, play hard. What do we have?
Couple limericks we got to get to here. So this one comes in from Bronco Nick. We are in the dog days of summer. No hockey talk. Sometimes is a bummer. Ice cream with a spoon? Connor and Leon honeymoon? Sometimes I wish I was a drummer. Not bad.
All right.
This one comes in from VR Montenegro. Unfortunately, it appears that Reid is chaffed at being shut out of the EST Bird Draft. I'd bet on Reid to kick ass, take top pick from the Avs class, and boot the others down the relegation shaft.
That'll probably happen.
You're quite confident in your drafting skills, hey?
Yes. Did you do the big ukes?
He doesn't email to me. He only emails to you.
Draft of birds set to run soon. Only 2 hours? Nah, go till noon. Jay's getting luck. Rockies sure suck. Best sports station in town. EST to the moon.
Well done.
Very good. From the Big Uke. All right. Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, presented by Play Alberta. You can get Jay's Play of the Day by clicking on EST Specials. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere. With Play Alberta, you have a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer whenever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $50 casino bonus. Just deposit $20 with promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. We had a really fun show. We did talk about the bird draft. I'll be back in a draft someday, and I'll do really well. So what is it tomorrow on the Hangout?
Tomorrow on the Hangout.
So Wannock's not on the Hangout tomorrow.
He is. He's hosting. So he's doing the preamble before the draft actually commences.
Okay.
He'll be interviewing all of the participants. This comes in on the afternoon inbox for River Cree Resort and Casino, 780-218-9999 from Big Maple. Reid would definitely appreciate this, and being a movie buff, he probably already knew about it. What movie do you think this end credit was from? I'm just going to read you.
The visual. Oh, no.
Well, it says on-set dressing. Ranch, Russian, Italian, and vinaigrette. Would you know what movie that's from?
I'm going to guess it's from The Naked Gun. Is that correct?
He didn't say.
Oh, can I see the whole thing?
It's just that one picture, but yes, you can.
What is it? I'd have to say that's from The Naked Gun because they put goofy things in the credits like that.
I think it would be
I don't know if it's the new one or the old one, but I'm going to say it's a Naked Gun movie. I hope he's still listening so he can tell us if that's right or not. But I remember watching the credits for The Naked Gun, the Leslie Nielsen one, and there were goofy little things if you actually read I am correct.
Well, in the credit, it says prior to that, on-set dresser, and then is Adam Meyer, and then below it, it says on-set dressing.
You're right, is those dresses. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That is pretty keen. All right, let's get to it.
Wait a sec.
Let's wait a sec.
780-218-9999. That's the text line, the afternoon inbox, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Sorry, Jay.
That's
Home
okay.
of the Kitchen Restaurant, Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu that is available Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
TWPG 204 in the Nasty Chat is making a prediction for Friday night's game. Elks 31, Montreal 28.
Well, I would take it.
Sure.
Steven says that recovery not turning into a touchdown was criminal. Well, I mean, they got points off it, which was the main thing, but you'd love for that to be a touchdown to really get the momentum swing. Because then Montreal kind of felt like, man, oh man, an unusual play went against us, but we still sort of survived.
Yeah, it wasn't the end of the world.
They didn't get the 7.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
First word of the day, oubliette. Oubliette. Let me see if
oubliette is Oubliette. And I believe an oubliette is
this is a noun.
Okay, I believe it has to do with like a place or a surface on which creative writings are made or stored.
How about you want to have it in a sentence?
Sure, that's not right.
They unearthed a skeleton at the bottom of the oubliette during renovations.
Oh, so I was wrong then.
Rumors of a hidden oubliette fueled ghost stories about the manor.
So it's some sort of a structure then.
Yes.
Is it like a buried structure? A tomb? A place where old things are found? I don't know then.
I'm going to give you got the spelling right?
Yeah, I did. That's 1 point. Full point.
I'm going to give you 1.72.
That much? That seems like a lot.
It's a secret dungeon.
No, but I lose a half point for the sentence right away.
1.22.
1.22.
A secret dungeon with an opening only in the ceiling is an oubliette.
Oh, wow. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was like a tablet or a place or like not a diary exactly. So I was wrong on that. After a hint, I did a little better.
Second word of the day.
All right.
Largesse. Largesse.
Largesse. And I believe that has to do with sort of laziness and apathy.
How about we use it in a sentence?
All right. Damn it. So disappointed, Ben. Come on. You deserve better on your practicum.
The community has benefited greatly from the largesse of its wealthiest family.
Oh, no, I the opposite then. It'd be like the generous donations. So I get half.
So you got 2.72 out of 4.
Ah, I'll take it.
That's a pass.
Mex in the Nasty Chat. A coubliette is where Zach hides his jersey collection. So why did I think largesse? I must have got, well, I obviously got confused because it was kind of the opposite of what I thought. It's not laziness and apathy. It's generosity. And being involved. But okay.
Philanthropy.
Yeah. So it would be close to that, I guess.
Yeah.
And oubliette is what specifically?
A dungeon
with an entrance.
With only an entrance at the top.
Wow, that's specific. So the side door.
Nope. That's not an oubliette.
It's like, hey, Jay, come in through my door into my oubliette. You'd be like, whoa.
This is a sideliette.
If we're going into an oubliette, we're going in through the roof.
I need a rope.
You shouldn't even have a side door. I'm like, I thought it was...
This ain't no oubliette, brah.
So what do you call a dungeon with a side entrance? I guess just a dungeon. A sideliette.
Clearly.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Reid.
Great work today, buddy.
Thank you. You as well.
We'll have to refine I want to go back to some of that video game discussion because I have a bit of a personal journey with gaming.
Beautiful.
That I want to share.
Well, let's make it tomorrow's buying or selling.
Yeah, we'll do that for buying or selling tomorrow. Colin Mockery on the show tomorrow at 4. That is going to be an absolute blast. Thanks for checking out the show today. On behalf of Ben Thompson and Glue Guy, Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Have a good evening.